And last week on Conqueror of Avernus, y'all did it. Y'all made it. You beat the big bads, tossed around 2 different layers of hell, kicked the snot out of everybody who crossed you, and always held true to a higher standard. And now you've got level 20 characters. We got a druid who can morph into anything so many times that he wants. A rogue who I'm probably never going to hit again since I can no longer get advantage on them. A fighter who's probably never going to ever stop hitting again, as they have 4 swings per attack. And the wizard, who just got more spells, which is exactly what they didn't need. Oh my god, thank you very much, wizards, for making the wizard such a pain in my butt. It's been a lovely 20 levels. As we get started on this last dungeon, you guys had a fun time leading through Routing Station Gamma. Mostly puzzly there near the end, but you did it. You made it into a gigantic elevator, and I mean this thing's huge, 40 feet across, segmented even with a private sector so that you'd have an area to go and rest, which came in very handy as the hours ticked by. Give you plenty of time to rest up, regain some health, get your footing back, and get comfortable. Because after quite a long time, the elevator finally stopped moving. The doors slowly opened up to reveal a 10-foot wide corridor ahead of yourselves. The floor, a beautifully polished and carved marble, nigh indestructible by the look, and the walls themselves, a metallic working of beautiful stonework and metal crafted together. A simple glance by anyone with any form of blacksmithery capacity would be able to tell putting so much as a scratch on this wall is going to be one of the absolute hardest things. But as you descend and march into this zone, the path laid out before you is a clear one now. As you look to make a hero's comeback, a dangerous weapon lies in the depths of Kintyre, a powerful magical cannon. And, as Alec had asked last week, I wonder what would happen to that there giant obsidian pass if it was hit straight on. Well, going to be a lot more questions than answers in the next little bit, because I'm throwing you all into the start of a dungeon. So, let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. And as you find yourselves in a beautiful tunnel, as the doors slide closed behind you and the slow-moving elevator leaves. Though, I'll give this as a moment in case anyone wanted to touch on anything that happens while you're taking a rest of multiple hours, if anything needs changed or anything needs added or removed.
No, I was just enjoying the description because we've just long rested, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just making some changes to the old spell list there. And I should probably hit the long rest button. So I seem to have some hit dice spent. No wait, actually no, that's right. You only get half on a long rest.
You know what?
More than half.
I'm in a good mood. Level up bonus, you get all your hit dice back. Everybody does, not just you.
But that could either be a good or a bad thing, folks. That's either I'm in a good mid so I have them back, or you're going to need them. So.
I definitely think it's a you're gonna need them situation.
Flex tightly grips the hilt of her sword and just glares, feeling too refreshed by that sleep. Was too good, too relaxing, always a bad sign.
Guys, I'm really disappointed to report that Flux did not break the 300 mark for her hit points. Level 20. Close. I know, I'm sorry.
How close are you?
I'm only at 264, you guys. I feel like such a failure.
So we're gonna have to get your constitution up to 24 by the end of the dungeon, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying that, Alan. You're welcome to, but I'm not.
bring Flux up to CR 21 while still level 20. And I'm still keeping Courtney's token for Bellamy on the map. She's invisible. I got her right here. She'll be following along, so once per round on her turn, whatever it is in combat, Bardic Inspiration will be given out because, I mean, I'm putting the difficulty at least a 4.5 here, so. Now, this long tunnel ahead of you, I should point out first and foremost, is dark. There's no real lighting on, though you can see it should be. There should be lights built into the walls that should be illuminating the pathways, just very slim edgings. They look like magical rods stretching throughout the area. Wouldn't take much of a genius to figure that one out as far as an Arcana check is considered. They're basically like neon rods, you know what I mean? Except magic runs through them and they illuminate. So long as they have power. But as you know, this old city is a ghost and has not been awake for a long time. Any fun prep work during your 8 hours rest?
Alec has been casting every spell he can in his animal form.
Oh, right. That was something I wanted to touch on. As you'd all be riding down on that elevator, an epiphany would have certainly come over Alec. All those times bumping into the Godslayer, seeing him cast magic so effortlessly, grasping the weave without any cost or any concern. Yeah, your character realizes how that's done now, don't they?
Let's say the characters do, maybe the players don't.
Oh, you can ignore verbal, somatic, and material components for a crap ton of your spells now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Druid or animal. And that means you just cast the spell without even having to do anything. It just happens. There's a bit of a restriction on the spells you're permitted to cast with that, but it's an amazing ability.
I think that, so I can't cast spells that have a material component with a cost.
Yes. You still have to have the material cost component.
Yeah, so like...
Revivify.
Yeah.
So if somebody ran over to the bear and slapped a diamond on their paw, they'd give a nod, smack a character, and they're back on their feet.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's say I'm a direwolf just now, because I have unlimited wild shapes.
Up to challenge rating 1, right? For beasts.
Yep. Yeah. I think this ability is really like assumes you're going to be a moon druid.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I like to go against the grey, you know? The grain.
You'll make good use of it for sure.
I know words.
That's impossible.
Dear, I may have stayed up too late playing some video games there, boys.
Oh my word. That's a good way to go, though. That's a good way to go.
Yeah, I've been playing this. I like finding weird games, so I've been playing this Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. It is a battle royale style vampire game. I think it's probably going to die soon, but you never know.
Yeah, they'd had the RPG pen and paper for that one. I didn't get into the newest version that came out. I almost got into the OG version because there was like this cool time controlling class. That's all I know.
Oh, sorry, Alan. I thought you were done. I think somebody finally took their bid in, Dean.
Oh.
They did?
Someone did, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, what's the point at this stage? It's almost windy again. Honestly, some lazy cunts in this street. Does my fucking tits in.
Oh my, you gotta take your trash bin off the street. You can't leave that out. It looks bad.
For the record, garbage day was Tuesday.
Oh my god. Why did they bother? They could have just took the bag out and threw it back in and been more efficient.
Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure everything is working right.
I'll clear the chat log out in a moment. Feel free to throw up all the dice rolls with all the random stuff that you want.
If we're starting a dungeon, I think, unlike the previous floor, I should probably use Gift of Alacrity. And because I'm in a direwolf form just now, whenever I cast spells like that, what character am I going to look like? Alan, if you don't guess this, I don't know. I don't know what to say. A dog-like creature casting spells. Who am I going to look like?
I'm thinking. I mean,
kick yourself.
The worst is I'm imagining like Wile E. Coyote trying to cast a spell, and that's the only thing that's stuck in my head. You know how it is?
Yeah. Red 13.
Okay.
Red 13? Oh, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Of course, this guy.
Alan, I'm embarrassed for you. I don't know the context, but I'm embarrassed for you.
How could I not think of the
it's Final Fantasy, and Alan didn't go there straight away. Like, even I was like, it's some Final Fantasy character.
It's your fault, John. I've been taking it easy on you for too long. That's what it is. I'll be like, alright, let me mention something Final Fantasy. It's nothing but just a fucked story. And John's like, okay, that's acceptable. It's like, and then there was a mechanic in game, and John's like, no thank you.
To be fair, I only ever once was like, okay, enough is enough.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Don't get me wrong. And that was quite the spiel that one time though.
Oh yeah, and it was like, don't mean to interrupt, but you guys, we've been on this deep tangent.
Don't mean to interrupt, but you simply must stop. You simply must stop.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I was not in a good, like, I was off that day to begin with.
Alright, that's fit. Sometimes people need to be stopped. Like it's like me talking about like a piece of history that I like, and sometimes you're too far in before you realise, oh, they've not been listening and they want me to stop. They've been wanting me to stop for about 5 minutes now.
Yeah. I'm going to bonus action wish simulacrum on myself.
You can bonus action wish
once per day, because of my arcane, because of the Tome of the Still Tongue.
You can bonus action one spell out that book. That's that book's whole power. Once per day.
It's a really good one.
You're all level 20 now, so you're gonna see shit get crazy.
I was just thinking, so I'm currently a direwolf, but I can cast polymorph as a direwolf, isn't it? So how does that work? I go from Alec to wolf to whatever. then if my polymorph drops, I go back to a wolf.
Yep.
Hey, we're trying not to understand this.
Wolf Alecception.
Also, I did change my because you said we could change our features when we level up, so I did change my Eyes of Mystra, if that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I now have Dimension Door.
There you go. Nimbar Simulacra. Make sure to check on him to make sure. I just did an update on him, but you'll need to pull out the things that he doesn't get.
Well, we can, that Eyes of Mystra, we can change that spell on a long rest.
Right.
Anyway, that's a good point.
Sorry,
to mention that, because I have polymorph equipped on that spell slots. It seemed very druidy, but
you kind of have it built in.
But I could but here's what I'm thinking. What if I have Conjure Woodland Beings as Eyes of Mystra that then casts 8 pixies who they all have polymorph. Is that too much?
Oh look,
I don't know.
there was a design flaw in the tunnel and it collapsed. All of your pixies died. What a shame. Roll for initiative.
It's funny how that works.
Okay.
Yeah, I might change that from.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need a little bit of like 3 hours to tune the simulacrum if you guys are cool. Just because then he can get all the great stuff again.
Could you have cast that as part of the rest?
I would have only got back the feature at the end of the long rest.
Well, it's up to Alan. Like, I don't know if we'll have 3 hours at the bottom of the lift.
Oh, it was about an 8-hour ride to get there. You're sitting at in the hallway at this point at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
Any time you take is up to the party to take.
Yeah, because like it lets me get the Staff of the Archmagi. It lets me get a bunch of things. Because like I retune all my things.
Yeah.
If you guys don't want to waste 3 hours, that's fine.
That should be fine. I've had Blight equipped for the longest time, but I just don't feel like we're gonna meet many magical plant monsters down here. Should I change it? Probably. I don't mind waiting if everyone else is cool with that.
The one thing I will do is I will have copy Nimbar attuned to the Tome of the Still Tongue, which means Nimbar now has another attunement, which he will attune to the what is it called? The Staff of the Archmagi.
Alright. So how long is this process going to take?
3 hours for the reattunement.
Well,
right.
So wait.
So,
Is it not? Would it not be just 1 hour? Do you need to? Is it free an hour per item?
I thought.
Not just take an hour to attune to all three.
Alan, can you confirm?
So I just remember
it takes an hour, but I don't think you can do 3 at once. Let me see here.
So I do have adjustment. We are on a little bit of a countdown with the.
Yeah, is there any way that we could have done this while you were on the elevator? Like,
again, unfortunately, like I just got the feature back at the end of the long rest.
Gotcha.
Because trust me, if I could have, I would have.
Oh my god. That's the D&D Beyond is going fucking nuts. It's like lost my background and my what do you call it? Portrait image. It's kind of worrying. Massive technical problems have appeared as soon as Wizards took them over. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, given the description of the magical aim and attunement, no, you're gonna be concentrating on an individual item for that hour.
Yeah, that's if we've got the time, what was our countdown? We had 5 days.
Well, the 20th was
The 20th.
apparently a day the entire city of Waterdeep goes kablooey.
Right. Okay. Well, let's take at least an hour to let me get like the Staff of the Magi on, as well as like one item on the simulacrum, if you guys are cool with that.
Okay, yeah. Well, an hour's cool.
See Jade pull out an hourglass, just flip it over and start tapping it. I'm sure he has one.
We'll probably rest in the future at some point. I forgot myself when I said it was cool. I don't mind. I was like, hang on. This is almost getting close to the end of a Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The alarm's going off in the whatever umbrella lab is beneath the city this time.
So I've done.
Are you okay, Jillian? I heard you shout. Are you shouting at him?
And I'm going to. So, Nimbar will attune to the Staff of the Magi. Nimbar copy is going to attune to the Robe of the Archmagi.
All right. So then, an hour goes by in the quiet hallway. Nothing happens while the Nimbars chat with each other. One's looking at the robes like, these are very nice. The other one's like, I know, I like them, they are very nice. And then he bops himself on the head with a stick, and the other one's like, did you do that? No. Did you do that? No, I think you did it to yourself. There's no way I did it to myself. No, you did it to yourself. That was a fun 15-minute argument. Beyond that, though, nothing happens. So, an hour later.
Alright, shall we go?
Yes. So I have changed my Eyes of Mystra to be Ice Storm.
Awesome. That's going to be dangerous.
Nice.
So I started blasting.
What started blasting?
Okay.
You may yet get the opportunity.
Okay, and now we're about to set off. As the first token moves forward, I will cast my Gift of Alacrity. Oh, okay. Doesn't roll a d8 for me. Okay, well. Right. Oh no, wait! It happens on initiative. Right, that's right.
All right.
Okay.
So as you walk down this hallway, I'll give you some of the basic rundowns of the dungeon. Unless I say otherwise. You can assume the floors are standard terrain. They don't propose any disadvantage. They are made of incredibly, very hard to break material. It would take a considerable volume of force or magical capacity to destroy them. You're not talking small bits, you're talking big kablooies. Same for the walls and the ceilings. Hallways are 10 foot wide and 10 foot high, unless otherwise noted, and that's pretty much the major points for the area you presently find yourself walking through. That'll hold true for any of these hallways with the hexagon pattern that you walk atop. Yeah, that's right. Walking on hexagon. Forget that. Square best. Square best.
As an action, I'm also going to resummon my mine. Because I think I used him at the end of the thing.
Yeah, you totally lost your mind last time. There you go. They're yours to manage. I ain't moving your tokens. Because I am lazy. Now, this hallway at the very end, as you can see, splits to the left and to the right. To the left is simply a dead end, however, coming to a quick and short ending where a few boxes and crates have been stacked together with nothing but detritus left after all these years, though to the right, an incredible metallic door. Yeah, I think this is a little laggy for everybody today, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
This is what I get for building from scratch. But that's it'll be fixed for next week. What's up?
Yeah, Nimbar is going to tap his staff and cast Detect Magic.
The walls themselves, as your eyes scan across, along with the floor, have all been interlaid with sparkled bits of lead, which means you cannot detect beyond their limitations. Same with the door in front of you, carved from some incredible metal that you've never quite seen. You could do an examination of it if you had experience with blacksmithing, etc., but the door is completely blocking your magical vision as well. Probably no surprise, like design for the entirety of this area.
No. Well, I'll pass that along, just so everyone
going off of Nimbar's observation, I would like to look at the door.
You go ahead and give me a perception check, because Flux got the blacksmithy capacity for sure.
Okay. Do I add anything to it, or just regular?
Oh, just a regular roll.
Okay.
So Flux would lean in, give her jaw a rub, check the whole thing out.
It's not great.
With a 15 on perception, you can tell that this door is probably one of the most solid you could ever imagine. You might be able to cut through it eventually. However, it's made of what appears to be a composite alloy of adamantine and some form of mithril, mixing together to create a very swirled effect within the metal. Incredibly rough to break through.
Okay.
You also can't see
I'll
through
share
it.
that. Okay.
Probably a couple inches thick. Of course, it would block any degree of magical vision from seeing through because of the lead that's placed inside there to help bind it all together somehow. But it does have a keyhole.
So, the dumb dragon says, "Let's go look for a key." Level 20, and I'm feeling that I mean, you could definitely try to pick a jade, but I have a feeling that Alan might not let you.
Yeah, well, first I'm going to check for traps.
Go ahead and roll a perception check as you give that, or that, the stealth check, as you go ahead and give that a check over for traps. With a 28 to Jade's horror and dismay as he reviews this door, he's never seen something crafted so perfectly. If there was a trap built into it, you don't think you could tell. And that's period. It might be trapped, it might not be trapped. You can't tell. It is, however, quite locked. Now you're a floating wolf. Starry form mode for the druid. Floats around as a floating starry wolf.
Yeah, does the starry form carry over?
Dean's on mute, but he said yeah.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Jillian. I said,
Welcome.
yep. It's a wild shape feature, and it's a bonus action. I can
use wild. You can expel these. Well, yeah.
So the only way I wouldn't be able to do it is if I was polymorphed. So I couldn't polymorph then go into my star form, but I can go into my star form then polymorph. But with wild shape, I can do either or.
Jeez. Level 20 is a fun time.
So, I don't know how you want to do it. I'll keep an eye on the timer. But so I think starry form only lasts 10 minutes. But every 10 minutes, I'll just ping the chat. I'll just put SS for Super Saiyan.
Oh my word.
You know what they
SSJ?
should have... sorry, unrelated. I was just thinking about druids. You know what item they should invent for druids? Something that will let them increase the CR rating of the animals, like besides, like just to kind of balance out the circle of the moon with the other ones, because it's just so much better. Like make an item that says you can go up to CR4 or something like that. Or like a tome, like a rare item, like the belt that the dragons have, or sorry, that the monks have, the dragon scale belt. That
I'm
plus
100%
one,
with you.
you get +1 to your key save, and then +2 you get +2, +3 you get +3. Like it should be like that like for all the other druids.
Same way that they lock out for some items. Just drop a thing +1 to your CR rating, max CR 6.
Yeah, because he's level 20, and the highest he can go in his wild shape form is 2. Like, that's bullshit. That's one.
It's worse than that, Jillian. It's 1.
Yep.
What? I thought you had CR2!
No.
Oh my god.
You see my class is not wizard.
Oh my god.
Now if it was wizard, the base would be like CR5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Well, moon druids.
The moon druid would be like, oh yeah, you can have CR40. That's fine.
Yeah, you start at level 2 when you at CR2 at level 2 or whenever you get wild shape.
It's a little
But wizard doesn't have it for every class, guys.
How is that? Why isn't Moon Druid just an entirely different class then? Like, how can you lump them in with Circle of the Ground or Circle of the Land, where the most you can get is a CR1? That is just the most bullshit.
Yep.
It never changes after level 5, level 6. No, level 8. Level 8. It never changes after level 8. Ridiculous.
That's some bullshit.
I'm sorry. I'm triggered.
No, you're right.
When they hand that out to other members of the class, yeah, that's some bullshit.
Jillian plays a druid in another campaign. She's got all this to look forward to.
Oh, go Moon Druid. You won't have any trouble.
Yeah.
And Dan provided a wonderful
I can't. That is really cute.
He found the
Okay,
picture for Dean's
so-
wolf.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I mean, this is Dean speaking, not Alex. He's currently a wolf. There's not, as far as I can see, there's no other way on this floor but the door, unless we need to uncover a secret wall or something. But so it's not trapped.
No. If it's trapped, the trap is so skillfully hidden, Jade will never be able to find it.
Right. But it's not locked? Or we don't know yet?
I tried the door. Is it locked?
Oh, it is quite locked. Now, is Jade gonna try and unlock said door?
Yep.
Now, the DM will make a note as Jade spins that magical infiltrator's key around on one finger, looking back at the party like, oh yeah, this will be lock number 3,749 out of 3,749 as you start to slide your infiltrator's key in to begin the process of unlocking the door. However, to your horror and dismay, the door deactivates it. There seems to be an anti-magic barrier built in directly to this door that causes your infiltrator's key to function without any magic whatsoever. It'll function as per a normal Set of Thieves tool, but you lose any bonuses it would provide otherwise. This is a constant feature for all doors that you'll find in this dungeon. They're all going to be a bit of a pain in the butt to pick. But the other flip of that is nothing is indestructible, so you know. I don't believe in locking players out of a campaign with skill checks. But this is level 20. And Jade's the best at what he does.
Well, if Jade's going to try and pick at natural styles, Alec will lay his wolf head on his shoulder and give him guidance.
Yeah, I'll just be a second. I'm just double checking that what I got. Okay, so I lose advantage on the picking the lock.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just had to make sure it wasn't like, hey, you're getting a +5 from the key.
No. I made it sound pretty badass, but honestly, this is just a minor inconvenience. It's like Flux stubbing her character's toe. It's gonna hurt like hell, but it's only like 1 HP.
And guidance adds what?
A D4.
The annoying part is it means we can't knock on any of the doors.
However, this door does unlock for Jade, as his expertise itself with reliable talent carries through for a 36 total with the extra 3 points from guidance. You have a feeling that might have made a bit of a difference on this lock, but the door is now unlocked if you want to open it up.
Okay, guys, the base is 35 through the whole dungeon.
Possibly.
Probably.
Possibly. I mean, it could be something super epic behind this door that's like legendary. I don't know. Hey, maybe it's a new weapon for Dean. Yeah, let's go with that. I didn't just make the DC high to be an arse, I swear.
Well, the high DC makes sense considering we're level 20.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some tricks. As you open the door, however, you see a very, very, very large room across, circular in diameter, and despite the fact that I said I'm slightly behind on the construction, this 100-foot across room is mostly barren of anything. A large circular stone chamber, runes carved across the walls that go up, up, and up. The only thing of note in the entire area, which I'm now going to draw in, is a singular pillar in the middle of the room, going up and connecting in to a mechanical setup that goes higher into the air, twisting around with various forms of machinations until it makes it to a large floating crystal some 300 feet up in the air. It slowly spins around and radiates out an immense volume of magical power. Without a doubt, the energy that you see coming off of this you recognize as pure void energy. This would be one of those 4 powerful pillar crystals that you've read so much about. One of 3 that need to be activated at the minimum to allow entrance to the control room for this mighty city. I'm just going to move my lights so it's in the entire room, because I accidentally blocked it because I'm silly. There we go. A note, however, as you set foot into this oh so legendary of a spot. All of your magic gear shuts down the second you make it past the doorway. The doors themselves have their own built-in anti-magic barrier, sure. But as you step into this room, no magical item will function. I will say, as you look up to the very tip-top of this room, you do see a platform to one side where the crystal is surrounding it. Outside of that, you see numerous posts, pillars, and small pieces jutting out from the wall. A fairly dexterous or very athletic person could attempt to make their way up there. And, I'm sure as Jade is probably about to check as he slides a hand across the smooth stone, you realize there is no friction to the wall. It is incredibly smooth. There may be a reason for that, but that would require specific checks, and I don't like spoilers, you know how this is. But the wall is unbearably smooth, nowhere on there for you to actually grip, and the stone won't give to your physical touch. this singular post, standing about 6-7 foot tall, connecting to everything else. From a distance, looks like a solid chunk of raw adamantine. Though a good glance would actually reveal it to be handcrafted and purposely done the way that it is. You can certainly go examine these things and check out the room and step into it, but it's up to the players how that goes. Also, question for Dean, what happens to your wild shape in an anti-magic field?
I think that it's not dismissed, but I think I turn back into Alec.
Yep.
As soon as I go out of the field, I'll be a wolf again without having to use the action.
You are suspended, exactly. So who's all stepping in?
Sorry, I'm just trying to think about something. What is the wording on anti-magic field?
That's a good question.
Because, more or less, I'm wondering, can you dimension door into an anti-magic field?
I would imagine not, because you wouldn't be able to magically open a portal in a place where magic can't.
You can definitely actually teleport into an anti-magic field. Dimension door, greater teleport, and you can enter them, yes. Because it suppresses any spell or magical effect used within, brought into, or cast into the area, but doesn't dispel it.
So I can dimension door into it and then be stuck there.
Yep, you'd immediately follow the effects of it. You essentially appear in there. They'll let you jump into it, no problem. It's like jumping into a pool of water. That's the easy part. Getting out might be hard.
So I can get to the little platform place.
You gonna give it a shot?
I'm thinking.
300 feet up to that platform.
What do you guys think?
So, what's it on the platform? The control room? The control panels?
That's what we're assuming.
There looks to be some mechanisms up there, possibly for control. But then where you are here, it's actually pretty much as blank as the map looks.
Yeah. Now the other thing is, when I dimension door, I can take one person with me.
The question is, will it work properly, considering what this place is also meant to fight against the angels and stuff that we're attacking, and they could use those said spells.
I mean, we have no way. Alright, just to verify it works the rest of the dungeon, I'm going to cast Dimension Door from here to here.
Yep.
Works normally?
Yep.
Do you mean Misty Step?
No, I mean Dimension Door.
Is that a free spell for you?
My Eyes of Mistress makes it a free spell.
Oh, I thought Dimension Door was 5th level. It's 4th?
4th level.
Oh.
It's a pretty
Neat.
cool one to have.
Yeah, since... Okay, well, if you're thinking like who to take with you, I mean, if there's something up there, you probably want Flux to hand, but and she's a good pilot. But
yeah. Also,
maybe you could, to test out the Dimension Door theory, you could just like Dimension Door like on this first square in the room, so you know you won't get like
Right.
Flung to the other side of the.
I'm going to dimension door to the second.
Right. Sorry. Accidentally opened TikTok. I'm so sorry.
No
And my
worries.
volume was really loud.
As you
when I
attempt to dimension door in, you come to an abrupt halt at the door at the edge of this room, unable to move beyond that barrier with your teleportation.
Interesting.
Okay, well, problem solved then.
Yeah.
It sounds like we just got to step in.
Yeah.
All right, everybody walks in.
Yep.
Well. Not the copy number for now. Or the mine.
And they call it a mind. A mind.
Let me just real quick unequip all my magical items so I don't accidentally use them.
Well, as you all walk in, as mentioned, all of your magical items lose their power. Even artifact grade gear ceases to function. Every piece of equipment carried. The sole exceptions to this, however, Jade's new weapon and Sarah Dess's rage are unaffected by the anti-magic barrier, if it's even that.
Can I just ask what happens to my bag of holding?
It's sealed shut.
Okay, cool.
Since
I'm
it
sure
creates
we've
an extra
addressed it
dimension.
before, but I don't remember.
Some people have it spill out, but as near as I figure, since it creates an extra dimensional space and makes an opening to it, it just can't make the opening to the space at the moment.
Guys, quick question. If I step out of the room, chug a potion of giant strength, and then hop back in, like, do you think that would be...
It would be suppressed.
Yeah,
will be?
it's suppressed, yeah.
Okay. I won't do that then.
Yeah.
Now, as mentioned, you can always go full gymnast and start making your way around the outside, jumping from point to point to point. Oh shoot, I'm on lighting mode.
What speaking of lighting, what is the lighting in there? Because I don't have my goggles of night either, so if it's dark, I can't see anything.
If it wasn't for the light illuminating from the massive floating crystal overhead, you'd be blind as a bat.
Okay.
There is almost no lighting at the moment.
Gotcha. I'll walk toward the light and try. Where'd you say the platform was?
I will light a torch so people can at least see by that, because right now I'm just a guy.
You're just a dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I can look at things pretty well.
300 feet over your head. Though there is a rod that connects from the crystal all the way down to the base of the floor, give or take about here, which is what's blocking your vision as you're looking around.
Oh, I see.
At the very base of it, there's a 6-foot metal pole connecting straight into the ground. At first, it looked like raw adamantine, but when you see it from a distance and get a little closer, it's definitely been handcrafted for some specific purpose.
Can I try climbing the pole then?
As you reach a hand out, you feel a discharge of power crackling from that metal post. It gives you pause, causes you to pull your hand back. You know if you touch it, you're gonna have a bad time. Go ahead and give me a quick perception check as you do this.
Okay. Oh.
Your character thinks
I
to
don't
herself,
think I see anything.
electricity. I got nothing against lightning damage. Cracking her knuckles. You know you could climb it. Might hurt a little bit.
I'll touch it and see what happens.
All right,
Take
give
a
me a
hit.
dex save.
Okay. Not climbing, I'm just touching it, like, putting the back of my hand against a door during a fire.
Yep, give me that dex save.
rolling it. I'm just telling you, just for the sake of clarification.
Oh, very nice. So, just like catching any live electrical wire, it actually forces you to hold on by its very nature. But having a 27 total on your dex save means you take half damage of 30. So that'd be 15 points of damage.
Reduced to 7 because I'm resistant to lightning?
Nope. Damage.
Oh, okay.
That's what shocks your character. You can't actually gain a sense for what the damage was. It wasn't piercing.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't electricity. It wasn't, or lightning. It wasn't force even. It was pure raw damage. It cut to the bone.
Is there another way up?
Just the platforms around the outside.
I'll report back to everyone what I found, and I'll start eyeing up the lowest platform.
Athletics or acrobatics will take you through, essentially, as you try to make your way. Depends on how your character goes. I don't like to lock it out, but essentially you could do that route, making your way around the outside ring to bring yourself up to the top. Glancing up, there are a number of obstacles. You see spinning fans and all that good stuff, keeping this area somewhat comfortable, so you're going to have a fun time making it up manually.
I feel...
Sorry, did you say you don't like locking us out as you lock my character and Dean's out?
To a degree.
Alec will just do a circle around the room and look for a lift or something.
The real question is, how does all this stuff work? You could do some checks and all that, of course, and Arcana's a good one. Just saying.
Alright.
Glancing... Go ahead and give me a perception check with Alec as you go.
I'm actually kind of curious.
I fed some info to John so he has a moment to give a few, so he can think of what's going down.
No, I'm just kind of curious about something, because...
With a 28 on your perception, Alec's making his way around the exterior ring of this room, which includes another door over here, of course. But you go past that one because it is quite locked, and you don't want to deal with that because that's usually Jade's territory. I mean, there's not much I can add, otherwise it's saying, lock the door. And as you further make your way, you find it interesting just how incredibly smooth the wall is. It's almost like touching pure marble carved underneath water for 100 years. One thing finally catches your eye, though, on your second go-round on the loop. As you come to a stop, feeling a small crevice here of what is clearly a secret door. And I'm going to go ahead and change that door type from secret to normal, which means you could freely open it if you wanted to. The mechanisms for doing so are not that impressive.
Okay, I'll shout out to everyone that I've found a door.
Should we try to open the door?
Probably. Unless you want to, we could try the door first before we try the total wipeout style ninja warrior climb to the not quite the ceiling. I'll leave the opening of the door to one of our resident door openers, Jade or Flux. I guess just as a precaution, I'll torch in one hand, pull out what was an invisible scimitar is now just I can see it. Okay, we doing this?
I'm gonna have to order some coffee for some people.
Alright, okay. Click.
Alrighty. Door opens up as everyone just sort of watches as Alec opening the door. They're like, oh, go ahead, buddy. As you do, looking inside, you get a very musky, moldy smell from this small offshoot of a passage. It contains some generic clutter, some shelving units, and actually what appears to be cleaning products in here. At least they would have been. The remnants of a mop, long since worn out, from what you can see from the edge. This room does go with a slight turn facing north, however. And as Nimbar peers in, Lincoln's back gives the thumbs up, not really seeing anything catching his eye yet.
Alrighty. I'll step through. Do I feel my magic items buzz again?
This area is still devoid of magic.
Oh.
As you
Maybe
turn,
it is just a cupboard.
Indeed, you see a very short end to this area, at the end of which a large treasure chest leans against the wall, and propped up against it, you see the skeletal remains of a single person. A couple bottles by their feet. And a little note scrawled out. The door's auto-locked. And then a small notation written in Elven, basically saying, the way she goes, if I were to use a simple quote.
Okay, so...
Looks as though this poor person met a slightly drawn out end. But there is a large treasure box behind them.
Well, either touching the chest locked the door or something else did. What do you reckon, Jade? Should we try it?
Well, if the chest is closed, it's either attempting to unlock it will lock the doors, or opening it will lock the doors and it auto closes again. My best guess.
Well, is there? I take it it's just the smooth walls again.
Oh yeah, the same design as you'd find in the hallways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just a guy right now, so it's not the worst thing in the world if I get locked in until you get me out. Wait, he said doors, not door, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So does tempting the chest make all doors in this area lock?
If the first door we entered over with all the way over here, was there like a, however Jade unlocked it, was there the same mechanism on this side?
For locking the door?
Yeah.
Nothing on this side, it just looks like it slides closed.
Okay. Right. So if we're going to try and open this chest, see what it does, should Jade wait on the other side of the door so that he can unlock it again?
What do you think, Dan?
It's one of those catch-22 scenarios. Anyone besides Jade have the skills to pick a lock for a chest?
How big is the chest?
Fairly large.
Are you thinking of moving the chest?
I was, but if it's fairly large. But
Is it like fairly large for like a normal person, or fairly large even for Flux?
For a normal person, fairly large. It's quite the challenge for me to give something that Flux wouldn't be able to bench.
Her belt of strength is turned off.
She's still got 20 strength. I think she can
19
carry
actually.
like.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Jillian, I built that feat and I put it on your character. I forgot to mention it adds you can either get a +1 to strength or +1 to dex to bring it up to a maximum of 20. I gave it to dex because it wouldn't let me put strength in, but I just threw it on there for you.
Oh, okay. I probably wouldn't have put it in dex because I was wondering why my dex was an odd number, because I'm like, I don't think I have any odd numbers except for my intelligence.
Yeah,
that seems pretty odd.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask about it, but no, my base strength without the belt was actually 19.
So you could
So
get
I
a
would
+1
probably-
to that to get the 20
Yeah,
total.
I would probably put it. I probably would have put it in strength because I wouldn't have wanted that odd number there.
It wouldn't let me do it because I think the equipment and stuff was on you, and I didn't
Yeah.
want to mess around with your character. But
Yeah,
the
no
feat's
worries
there.
at all. I'm sorry I didn't say it sooner because I definitely clocked that dex score being different and being confused by it. And
Not
I
bad.
don't know if I just didn't mention it. No, not bad at all. I regret not saying something sooner.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's just the slip there with it. But you've got that on. So I handler mastery, I think I called it, or something. I based it off learning the exotic weapon mastery of any form where you get the 4. So, but the only thing is there is no weapon proficiency for that. So you gain proficiency with some random tool that starts with the letter Z that I don't think will ever matter. So, you know.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. I noticed that as well, and I was like, that's weird. But again, didn't say anything about it.
That's all me. That's all me.
It's weird, but it's probably fine.
Alan's probably messing around with some stuff, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was thinking. I was like, Alan was probably doing something, but it's fine. It'll come up when it needs to come up.
Tidying things up. Alrighty, but there is a chest there, and it is flux sized. Even with a 20 strength, you could drag that out.
I mean, I have a +11 to athletics. If it's an athletics check.
No, it's just a push, pull, or drag. You just grab it and go with it.
Yeah, I'll do that if you guys want me to do that.
So the only question we need to answer is: do we want to try seeing what's in the chest before we climb up? And if we do want to see what's in the chest, should Jade wait outside or not, in case it closes on us? But then again, even if it does lock on us, like, we need to figure out what's in this room anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not confident in hauling the chest up while doing athletics checks. Technically, I could step out of the room and put it in my bag.
I wasn't meaning like you climb up while holding onto this chest. It just the only thing with the chest is we want to drag it outside the magic field, but
Flex rubbing her jaw. She looks up. I think I can do it, but
but I'd like. On the other hand, does it really matter if we get locked in here, because we need to figure out what's going on?
What I was kind of thinking was dragging it into here.
Yeah.
Just so that way, if like opening it somehow locks this room.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Sure. Let's just see if it does move. It could be bolted to the floor. And it just solves the question for us. So I'll go up. I'll nudge the body off with my boot. Say a little thing in Elven. I assume he's an elf if he's speaking Elven, writing in Elvish. Or given the current 5e trend, he could I don't know. He could be a Duergar who's speaking Elvish, because they like that.
He's probably a tall halfling because yeah, it could be a halfling too, because size doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Life no longer matters.
Oh my.
So yeah, I'll give the chest a little nudge with my boot.
Oh yeah, like that's gonna move. How strong do you think your character is? No, nothing happens.
That's fine. It's just seeing if it activated on touch.
Oh, okay, I get you. Because I was gonna say I give it a boot with my boot and try to shove it. It's like that isn't happening.
No,
I think strength's one of your dump stats. Yeah,
it's a 10. I'll go break his toes. No, he's just like before you lift something, you maybe give it a little.
You put the foot on it, give it a shove, and nod. That isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll try to drag it.
So, does everybody remember the first Men in Black movie where they're all sitting around the tables and Will Smith's character is like, you know what, forget this, walks up, grabs the table, slides it over, and it just makes that horrible screeching sound across the floor?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, just like that the whole way. The beautiful marble remains unscuffed.
I'm sorry.
The chest is heavy enough that Flux can only push, pull, or drag.
I'm sorry.
And the whole way.
I'm sorry.
No. It was Alan who like brought up the sound. It is all on Alan.
See, if Alan hadn't have brought up the sound that was made, I was just about to make a horrendous screeching noise into the microphone. So he saved
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan.
I'm actually I thought it would be funny if I said sorry every time Flux moved it. Sorry.
And
Sorry.
this one's a bit of a generic. So I'm gonna give it to Jade, because Jade always has his eye on the prize, so to speak. I mean, Dan has such a list of all the crap that you all get. Jade would notice as she's dragging that chest out that the top of it is flapping slightly. It's ajar. It's not even locked closed.
No, you just said it was a chest, Alan. It's not a jar.
I put that one out there to see if anyone would catch it. I clap for you, very much so. But you can only use that joke on doors.
Well, as
don't you bar entry to jokes?
I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, as a lid, not simply a door on an object.
Oh my word.
What is the difference between a jar and a chest, though?
A chest has a hinged opening and a jar has a screw top.
But some jars have, like, the little hinge.
Yeah, but if you're robbing a chest, you're going for money. If you're robbing a jar, you're going for cookies.
Unless you're in The Legend of Zelda, then you're robbing it for money as well.
That's true. What is it, jars in The Legend of Zelda or pots?
And plants and everything else that you can pick up and throw. Just not the chickens. They'll get you.
Stay away from the chickens.
Well, no, picking up the chickens is fine. Don't attack the chicken.
So have I tempted any of you to open this chest and take a look inside?
Well, now it's out, yeah. Because, like I said, we need to figure out what's going on in this room anyway, so it really makes no difference if it locks us in.
Yeah.
So
flip open the lid.
Tossing back the chest, you're greeted with the usual sight that adventurers love to see. Piles and piles of coins and gold. But not in a currency any of you know. I'll throw a quick picture up there. And yes, for those in the meta, I believe that's the coinage for the Greyhawk campaign setting.
I thought that was Waterdeep. I don't know why.
They look a little similar, I found when I looked down. But I did a quick Google and that's what I got. But I do know Waterdeep has that curved edge. But I'm just using a picture of generic money. Pretend your characters don't recognize.
Which one is Electrum, though?
There is none. Frig that. No. Nope, just gold and platinum. 26,000 pieces of platinum and 47,000 pieces of gold. On top of that as well, a jeweled platinum ring, non-magical, with a great value. Oil of sharpness, a potion of invisibility, 2 potions of supreme healing, 1 potion of vitality, a small golden statuette set with some rubies, worth a pretty penny, like many other things. And beyond that, 7,500 gold points worth of smaller coinage. Silver, platinum, etc.
Do you have a... Oh, I was going to ask if you had a list of the stuff that you could copy and paste, but looks like you're a step ahead of me.
Yep, and I just threw up the second part. I split the money off on its own. But there's some such. And a good dozen bottles of various forms of alcohol. And thanks to the blessed nature of it, being elven as well.
Oh shit, that's just gonna kill someone to drink it.
That was a good year
Drink.
several thousand years ago.
Well, our elven player, do you take a quick look at one of those bottles?
Sure, yeah.
Picking it up and blowing the dust off the edge of the cover for it, you note it to be an exceptionally old alcohol. Among the elves, a new bottle, freshly made, of Elven Moondrop would run for 220 gold. One of the most exquisite beyond compare drinks. It can only be produced by a master alchemist through a bizarre process involving fresh dew and moonlight. Its taste incomparable, and these bottles have had millennia in perfect conditions to sit and to grow to a beautiful palate. What you hold in your hand is a small fortune worth of a drink, and you have a dozen of them. Easily sell for probably $250,000 each one. It's also what that other poor soul had pounded back. 3 bottles worth, leaving you with a dozen.
Well, if I get out of here, I think I found what I'm going to have at my wedding. I take it you will all be attending.
If we survive.
Okay. Right. Just in case anything happens in this room, I suggest we put the chest just inside the door so we can go back for those bottles. Everything else, we'll stash. How long does the potion of vitality last?
24 hours.
24 hours.
Oh, it's 24? I thought it was 8.
Really good for Flux to have.
I actually already have Potion of Vitality at that point. I took it off because I thought it was 8 hours, but I actually still have.
Let me double check because I have.
As I've got one in my inventory, I just checked it.
Yeah, I drank mine at the end of the last dungeon.
So you still have 16 hours left on the effect if it's a 24-hour run.
Yeah, ish. Yep.
When you drink this potion, it removes exhaustion you are suffering, cures any disease or poison affecting you for the next 24 hours. You regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend.
Nice.
Can I?
And I gave you them all back.
Thanks.
Can I take that? One of those potions is Supreme Healing, just in case I need to.
Yeah.
Use it on someone. Usually I medic, and I've gotten close to running out of spells last time. Why can I never search for these potions properly?
Search for Potion of Healing and then Supreme Healing should come up.
I've heard them say in a developer update that their search engine sucks in D&D Beyond, but you think if you put in the word Supreme, like, how many things are called Supreme in the game?
He pulls up an advert for Taco Bell, the new Nacho Supreme. It's like, this isn't even close, but thank you. Sitting there after door dashing a bag of nachos.
So I would like to make an Arcana check at this point, see if I can figure out what's going on with this room.
You go ahead and toss one up as you try to examine the mystical energies.
I did double check the wording. It is my connection with the soul, so I would still get the advantage, I'm fairly certain.
Sweet.
Because the book is on my person, it doesn't say anything about the mine.
You rolled a 5 and a 4.
Yeah, I know. I'm not impressed.
With a 23, you can tell that this energy isn't necessarily an anti-magic field, but for some reason has suppressed all the magic. You can, however, see that crystal above, the reason Flux got a good shock when she went near that post, all that energy is flowing down into the floor and is what is powering what little power the city presently receives. You can also tell, judging by the design of it, it's able to take a considerably higher amount of power. Right now it was 60-12 for Flux to touch it, but just think of any electrical junction box. It's essentially what you're staring at there. That single pillar, that incredible piece of metal, so damn near indestructible, is meant to carry the full brunt of this crystal's power to bring it through to Kintyre. But as of right now, only a trickle stream is flowing through.
Oh, I should have mentioned that Copy Nimber is actually kind of started tuning disrupting. We'll see if he gets the hour in.
Oh yeah, because he can't come in.
Yeah.
He'll just burst into a pile of snow.
He's like, you toss me in a bag of holes and just carry me through the room when you're done.
Yeah.
Till then, he's like flipping through a book with glasses on. We'll figure this shit out, okay?
Yeah.
Could I take the potion of invisibility as well? Because I could be an invisible wolf. An
invisible floating wolf.
Invisible, yeah.
How dare you leave out your floating?
This starting to sound like some Japanese anime stuff going on here. The floating wolf, my friend.
Well, I like the image of a dire wolf. I know probably I'm better off being like a spider king because they have a climb speed, but also I dislike spiders, both in game and out of game.
Why? Spiders are neat.
I don't have a problem with spiders as long as they stay the fuck out my house, but I don't want to be doing my morning business and what's that, Mr. Spider, just casually crawling out from wherever you've been hiding to stare at me while I'm on the toilet. Just rude is what they are.
Yeah, so happy with the friendly spiders.
Speaking of rude, did I ever tell you why I asked you to call Fergus up yesterday when I was showering?
Oh.
What, he's burst into the bathroom?
Yeah, he poked his head in, and the way that the curtain...
Yeah.
He had his head kind of half in the shower, so his little tongue was going, trying to catch the water bouncing off of me. But then I was like, all right, Fergus, go on. And then he went further in and was gonna lay down on the path. I was like, no, Fergus.
It's like, water is best, this is comfy.
Mama, I've come to save you from the shower.
No, he's a good dog.
He is a good boy. Most of the time.
Yep.
Last D&D game, he had his daycare schedule got disrupted. And last D&D game he was full of energy. And he started trying to chew one of the chairs, which he hasn't done since he was a puppy.
Oh my.
Ooh.
He was like, pay attention to me or I'm gonna eat this.
Yeah.
No dogs.
He got a timeout, which means he had to have his lead on and go lay down for an appropriate amount of time.
Poor puppy. I mean, he got what he deserved, but poor puppy.
He doesn't act up very often, so I don't feel bad about punishing him when he does, because, discipline is good.
Fair.
So have we opened the chest? Is that where are we at?
Yeah, we've opened the chest. We
Right,
got
I had all the money. Oh my god, yeah, I did know that. I'm sorry.
Money and good liquor.
Yeah. We did the Arcana check, found out this thing's powering the city, which is why you guys zap so hard.
Right.
And it's not even running at full. It's trickling out the energy. If that thing was running at full force, it'd be some max damage rolls.
I basically touched a live wire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Running at
it's
max
also
voltage, you would have been looking probably 20 D12.
For the love of God, don't lick that battery.
It's also not an anti-magic field. It's an it's a magic suppression field.
Right.
Of some form or another.
Yes, I was paying attention. I just forgot where we were at, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no worries. I was mostly summarizing for myself, too.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's very good. That's good.
You give me an excuse to like say it out loud.
And with the magic turned off, DM's left you with a parkour course to get up to the top. There's a path.
I vote not Nimbar going up, by the way.
Well, I'm happy to go.
I have a +6 to athletics, but I assume Flux is better at +11, and I assume Jade has the reliable talent, which isn't magical, so you'll be probably better. Me and Nimbar can stand underneath you with a blanket stretched out to try and break your fall. I think that's the best we can do.
I'm sorry, the problem with that is Nimbar is so close to the ground that even catching it, they're still gonna hit it before the blanket will stop them.
Look, Nimbar, you'll feel better if you feel like you're doing something. Trust me.
I like the idea of like I'm not gonna do this, but wouldn't it be so funny if like Flux like just tucked Nimbar underneath her arm and then like made it up to a platform and like football through Nimbar to the next one and then jump after him.
I mean, to be fair, we could tie Nimbar to you Yoda style, and it would probably. I mean, you're a 7-foot dragonborn lady, and he's a sub 100-pound gnome.
I'm 6'6", but.
Oh, my mistake.
So what you're saying is we tie Nimbar to a rope, swing him around on the end of the rope, and throw him like an anchor?
Let's not do this.
You can throw a willing small creature up to 60 feet if you're medium or bigger.
I said Yoda style, but the anchor came from somewhere else.
Well, we were talking about tying Nimbar to a rope and then throwing him to the next platform, so he's an anchor.
We're going to make a grappling hook. Okay, do we have the metal for it? Nope. How are we going to make the grappling hook, guys?
Let's get a gnome.
Guys?
Nimbar's like, I knew it would eventually come to this.
I'm in favor of not throwing the little gnome around. Anyone else gonna join with me?
Not
throwing the little gnome around?
Purely because I can't heal you just now. I don't think we should throw you around. But any other time.
I purely said it for the joke because I just had the image of me football throwing Nimbar, and I felt like I should share with the group.
Oh, absolutely! Like it's a hilarious thought that I don't appreciate.
No.
John does, for the record. John appreciates it and loves it. Nimbar, not so much.
I have a better idea. We step out of the room so all the magic equipment's turned back on, and then Flux can punt the gnome up to the top.
Perfect. Just drop kick him.
Anyone seen the new Beavis and Butthead movie?
No.
Yeah, it kind of opens up with that. They got like this mechanical football kicking leg thing that cranks up slowly and then launches and shoots a football, except Butthead decides to point it at Beavis. Yep. And I'm just seeing that in my head right now.
By your tone, it sounds like it doesn't work out well for those guys.
Oh, it works exactly as they expect it to work out. He gets kicked, he flies through the air, he screams. It's just, I'm sort of remembering the scene like, yep, that was a horrifying one. But
right. Well, I will cheer you guys on as I watch you climb, and I will put myself between you and the floor.
The problem with that is like the Dragonborn falling on us. We're probably going to take the same amount of damage as there, and we're just probably going to die when she goes, "Oh, sorry guys, I made a pancake."
Yeah, if I go down, just get out of my way. I don't want to hurt anyone.
I'll throw my bedroll down. Try and
DM be like, I thought the floor was indestructible, but 250 feet of fall damage. Ooh, she cracked it.
It maxes out at a certain point.
Yep.
Valid.
20d6, I think.
Something like that. Alright, so what is the lowest platform? What side should I start on?
Oh, at this it's pretty much just a number of checks. 5 checks, essentially, to get up, as you can clear about 60 foot each time you're moving from area to area, as I'll let it go. Small hops of 30 each with dash, or however it may work.
There goes check number 1.
Are you going alone, or do you want me to go with you?
It's your call.
I
Like Dean said,
both
you have a
of yous
better
were
chance
going.
of... I was assuming both of us were going to, but...
Okay. So 6 athletics checks.
Yep. Or acrobatics, whichever works better for you, but I know nobody does dex. As Flux jumps up, grabs on, spins and flips around, launches herself to the next spot.
Palms are sweaty, you guys. I was just telling Dean not too long ago that I have like a really I'm not typically scared of heights. Like, I don't love them, but it's not like a full-blown phobia. But like in video games, when you have to walk across platforms and you're suspended over a void, like Breath of the Wild had a couple of like little mini dungeons that were like that, and I would just break out in a full body sweat.
Oh. I should bring the VR over for you sometime, hook that up, be like, hey, check out this top of this building. Then you'd probably kill me. So...
Hey, you have this fear. How bad can I make it?
Jade's first athletics checks as he runs and jumps for the bar to catch to spin over to the next one. You know, that flip around. Misses the bar, lands on the ground. Dusts himself off like that was a practice run, nobody saw that. I'm going to need a dex save from Flux.
Yeah, I didn't feel good about that 17. This is my third. That was my third one.
Oof.
Yep.
Oof.
Give me one more dex save. Oh, no,
I
you got
have Indomitable.
Yep.
So I will use one of those and try again before I roll a second one.
Does Indomitable come back in a short rest?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Seems harsh.
Yeah.
With a 17, you manage to catch on to the bar as you slip. You don't quite reach the first one or the next one as you're going, but you don't fall any further lower, so you still have 2 successes essentially. Jade, however, has none, so Dan, you give me a run as you see Flux make a slip up top.
Oh no. Why aren't you using acrobatics?
Doesn't have it trained.
Don't have it trained.
Oh, really?
Trying to get that first flip's a bit of a nightmare. Jade is unable to make it as of yet.
Okay, I'm going... How long is this climb going to take if we make 5 successes in a row?
You need to get 5 successes. If you fail, you end up falling and you have to try to catch back on the way.
Alright. Should I roll another one or should I wait for Jade?
Go ahead. I'm looking at something.
Great.
Oh, does the feature get suppressed?
No, it can't get. It's not magical reliable talent. It's just,
No. The other one, it would get suppressed, I'm pretty sure.
With an 18, Flux just makes it, catching on to the bar, the next level up.
Think I know my DC now, you guys.
Yep.
One more. 8 or 2 more?
Well, that's 3
Lost
successes.
Okay.
With a 22, you're 4 up.
Yep.
As your character looks down 240 feet in the air.
Whew. Thanks for reminding me, Alan. My hands just weren't sweaty enough.
And I'll need a dex save.
Oh, good. These roll good.
And give me another dex save.
No, I'll use another Indomitable.
Oh, okay. Burn that second Indomitable.
Oh my...
God.
Alright, and give me another dex save as you miss the first hand grasp as your character starts to free fall. With an 18, you manage to catch on, now 3 up.
Okay. So I have to do how many more again?
You've got 3 successes essentially at this point.
Out of how many? Sorry, is it okay for me
3
to
out of
ask?
5.
Yep.
3 out of 5, right? At some point, I heard him say 6, so I was just confused.
I think I might have slipped when I said 6. Now,
Okay.
while Flux is flipping round, because I wasn't about to say give me a roll, so don't worry.
Okay.
I didn't ask for a roll, so I can ignore that one. Because, damn,
Sorry.
you're going to take another shot with Jade to try to make it up there.
Yeah.
All right. You go ahead and give it a run.
Is Channel Divinity suppressed by this anti-magic?
I believe it would be.
Well, if you create a magical effect, it's suppressed. But the Channel Divinity Knowledge of Ages isn't stating that it's creating a magical effect. It just says, as an action, I can channel divinity to give myself proficiency.
And it lasts for 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. So is that a magical effect because it's channel divinity, or does it not count as magical effect because it does not say magical effect? Whereas channel divinity, I can channel divine energy to fuel magic effect to turn undead.
Well, so like it sounds like you would step out the room, become proficient, and
the only kicker is that the description of it states you gain the ability to channel divine energy directly from your deity, using that energy to fuel magical effects. So it would be a magical effect that's giving you the boost. Let me get down to the one.
Okay, I'll run with athletics.
Oof. All those wording crossovers. I gave it a quick Google and people seem to point at no for Channel Divinity being working because it's using it for magical effects. They're running it off that wording. Definitely give that one a Google though, because I'm just going to say a no for right now, but I might be wrong. But by all means, feel free to check into that one if you wouldn't mind and see if you can find out anything more on it. For sure. Only because those wordings are very weird in either direction, but I think the first one cancels out the second one.
Yeah, like a channel divinity creates a magical effect, saving both cleric and paladin. So, I would. I really want to give it to him because like it'd make his life so much easier.
Oh yeah.
But
well, is anyone else trained in the athletics? You give him a boost on that first run.
I could give him a boost. I'm trained.
I can give him a boost. You got this, Jade. Yeah.
So I've got.
Wait, that's just a moral boost.
Yeah. So.
I give up.
Oof. All right.
So
Jillian.
like, how many rolls have we had where like, what, one of them's been above a 10?
Well, whenever my reliable talent kicks in, D&D Beyond puts me below a 10, so it automatically becomes a 10.
Yep. And he keeps getting really low rolls. Like,
Anytime I've rolled anything with reliable talent, unless I've been really, really lucky, it's always been below a 10, below a 10, below a 10. Oh, here, your reliable talent makes that a 10.
Admittedly, that saved your butt a lot of times.
Yeah, but I'm even looking at Flux's rolls. She's gotten like an 11, but almost every die we've rolled today has been like 9.
Yeah,
our first two athletics checks were good, the 29 and 25, but other than that,
oh yeah, like, with plus 11 and plus 9 on her stats with the low numbers she was getting, like Flux is just chilling up there for a minute, like, yeah, I'm gonna try again, don't worry, but oh, I need a breather.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on, but the Foundry should know that there's numbers above 10.
Well, Jillian, do you want to see if you can find one?
I'm going to write a bug ticket. Where's our Git repository?
Oh my word. An 18.
Oh, I see. Try and make fun of the QA tester. Is that what's going on here? You software piece of shit. This is how I get things to work in my job, is I taunt the software until it works.
Well, you gotta be careful with that taunting. As of right now, Flux is 4 out of 5 and sitting at 240 feet in the air.
I think I'm gonna use my inspiration for this last one to roll at advantage.
Given the way the dice have been in a mood today, that is quite acceptable. So you go ahead. Give me that roll. As Flux launches herself with 2 14s. Dice are in a mood, aren't they? 25 total. Flux flips up through the air and comes down with a hard landing, feet rattling on the catwalk. You're up near the top of the crystal now, the actual catwalk running close enough that you could almost reach out and touch it. Glancing from the top of it, you can actually see a luminous glow inside of the crystal, like a vial filled. Only about the bottom quarter of it seems to be floating with anything, a dark, murky blackness that you can't see. However, at the very top of it, a small golden shimmer you notice. Like inky pool of water, however. That darkness that fills the bottom quarter of it at best. And beyond that, there's a whole bundle of controls and information off towards one side and what looks to be a very large kill switch, which has been turned down.
I'll explain everything to the party, like I'll holler down, and I'll be like, I don't know what to do, you guys.
Wait, do you have rope? Oh, it's like 300 feet up.
Yeah, we need to like tie, I don't know how many 50 feet ropes together.
How many ropes do you have up there? I don't know why we didn't think about that beforehand.
I probably because pulling someone up 300 feet is, I don't know. Is there a big red button?
Sir?
A large switch and a whole bunch of little buttons.
Just
I will repeat that.
Just pick the biggest switch or button and move it.
Okay. I'll do that.
So as mentioned, there's
Something
the big traditional double switch lever. You know, you grab it and it's got the part, most one on either side. The sort of thing they'd yell to Igor to switch to turn on the power. To get the Frankenstein monster to rise. Outside of that, so many buttons.
I'll do the big switch.
And as Flux grabs and flicks and pulls and drives down on that switch, re-engaging it, nothing seems to happen up your way. Nothing at all. It's nice and quiet. However, the others down on the first level would notice, within this super smooth wall, a door sliding open to the southwest.
Like over here? Wait,
Yeah.
no, southwest, you said. Right, yeah. See it now.
We found a door.
Similar in design to the other hallway you had found, this door slides open mechanically, however. And as you glance inside, you see some more displays and informations and metal tables. And of course, it angles around as it continues onward. Though you can't quite see from where you're already standing back there.
I'm gonna go in.
As you walk in, you see something interesting. At the very end of this area, numbers of tubes and cables and magical concoctions rise up to a singular switch on the wall, which is presently switched down. Most notably, however, besides said switch on the wall, you see a large glass case where I've indicated. Behind that plate's case lies a suit of armor, the likes of which you've never seen. Beautifully designed from the emerald hide of a gem dragon. It's something in rumors you've heard of but never truly seen. Plate mail made from body of a dragon.
Last time we saw a suit of armor like that, it came alive and tried to kill us.
Now this just looks like a
I was
storage
just
door.
thinking that.
Okay.
The other time was definitely sealed behind super duper chamber of craziness. This time, The armor's hung up on the wall, essentially, and this looks like a storage area for it.
It's instant flashbacks.
That was a fun time. I almost had the big bad come back. Nimbar sees his life flash before his eyes for a second time, like he lost something, but then regained it, and it's weird. Timey-wimey bullcrap.
Is the... Well...
But there is a down switch that's off. Should I flick it?
Yes.
Nimbar will, like, jump up to flick it up.
As Nimbar grabs to give it a twist up, you notice that it actually requires a considerable volume of force to lift. It's going to take an athletics check to throw that switch.
I'm gonna still do it. I'm probably gonna get you to do it here in a minute, but Nimbar's trying first.
With a 17 on the athletics, Nimbar decides, and that's with a -1, he decides to throw off the shackles that bind his tiny race, grabs it with all of his strength, and throws up on that switch, clicking it into gear.
I'm pretty sure what actually happened is he's standing underneath and just jumps. Like pushing it up.
As you do, the crystal hovering in the middle of this chamber up in the air begins to hum as it changes. And you notice this area begins to vibrate as the lights in the wall begin to brighten up as well. As the entire city begins to gain power and a tremendous volume of raw magical energies begins to funnel down through that. In the bottom, the metal pillar holding it upright. However, more importantly, Jillian.
Yes.
As you hear them down below the bottom layer, I got a switch in the wall. It's looking pretty good. Mouse, you got it. Hold me. I say, yeah, that's it. I got it. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. You notice the pillar begins to crackle and begins to shine as it begins to pulsate. Give me a dex save.
Oh god.
I am so sorry.
Not
There's
rolling that
no
one
way
out
we
of
could have
advantage.
known.
It's all happening in slow motion for your character. Your dex save is enough to give you the options to take options. As you're looking and you see the instrumentation panel lighting up and a klaxon immediately sounding an alarm. Not a loud one, but loud enough to be where you are. As energy radiates from the crystal, you realize it's going to be a very bad place to be standing as this thing lights up, which explains why it's 300 feet in the air as opposed to being down on the ground. Being near it while it's giving off power would certainly be detrimental for your health. Now, your character can certainly jump, then you can make a grab for one of those posts. There's posts all over the wall, every 60 feet up from the ground, so it's 6, 12, 18, and 24. It's up to you how far you want to drop before you take a dex save. However, with that 22 on your dexterity score as you're looking over the edge, you note these pillars are actually beginning to brighten up themselves as well as they're receiving power. So grabbing onto one of those could also be detrimental to your health, depending on how high up you decide to grab. The choice is yours.
Yeah, is the pole still there, illuminating with electricity?
The one at the very bottom?
Yeah, like the big one that was... there used to be a big shadow there?
Yep, the very bottom does have a pole there. It's sticking straight up. The crystal runs all the way straight down. The amount of magical energy pouring through it now would increase the damage to probably 20d6, or 20d12 at least.
Right. So the lower platforms are lighting up slower, it seems?
Yep, the top ones directly beneath you, the things you would grab onto as you were jumping through, are beginning to take power from the crystal, and are certainly going to be a painful thing to grab onto.
Okay.
You're not sure how low you'd have to go to not get zapped, but you can always try.
Is there one, like, nice in the middle that's, like, lowish, but not, like, but will give me a couple seconds before it'll light up?
You can try grabbing one around 150 feet down as you drop.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Alright, because it's going to be a straight dex save as your character does the smart thing, action movie style, as a wave of pulsating energy comes out and your character jumps. Give me a dex save as Flux enters free fall.
Okay.
as the city
Please.
of Kintyre awakens.
Please be kind, Foundry. Please.
Oh, that's not kind.
Last Indomitable, baby!
Or you can go for the next one, 60 feet down at the 90-foot marker, and try another straight deck save for that. You know you're going to miss it. You can try Indomitable to change your angle in air and try to grab on, but the DM's telling you, you do have more chances to make that deck save.
Okay, I'll try another one then.
There's a limit to your velocity, but it's 500 squares per second, so your velocity is increasing, so it does get harder, is the other flip.
There you go.
With a 28, Flux, however, says nuts to that, catches on at the 90 feet mark as the crystal radiates energy outward. You see the dome of power extending very far, and you think for a brief second, oh no, this is really gonna hurt, as it stops at 200 foot. Your character dangling 90 feet up, 210 feet away from the crystal. You can see the very edge of its power like an aurora borealis, merely 10 feet away from your character's nose. You take no damage.
Okay.
And you're just hanging off the wall at the moment.
And I'm 90 feet up.
90 feet up in the air.
So that's 96 fall damage if I fall.
Yep. D6 for every 10 foot. Or you can, try to make your way back down with athletics checks the same way.
Yeah, I'll try to jump one more platform down.
Alrighty, you go ahead and give it a roll. With a 23, you make it no problem. You're about 30 feet from the ground now.
I'll try one more jump.
After Dean insulted the dice, they've been rolling nothing but high. You seeing this?
It's how you get them to work. I've been working with software for a while now. It's how you do it.
Let me tell you, I've not missed Hannah any more in my life than I did just there, Dean.
Good old happening.
My monk with the slow fall.
Oh. Natural ability, forget magic. Monks totally break. They're one of the classes that break anti-magic areas, but your character makes it down to the bottom without any trouble. Dusting off. Luckily dodging whatever harmful effects that energy burst would have had on you.
Jillian, did you mute your mic?
Oh, yes, I did. That was rough there for a second, guys.
What happened?
Guys. Oh, the thing kicked me off.
I mean, that just seems like poor design. Unless their employees have some kind of shielding device.
So, just to confirm, you have to go to the very top to open the door to power this on. That is a terrible, terrible design.
Well, maybe it's locked down. Maybe this isn't normally. Maybe it's not normally all shut off. I don't know. It does seem like occupational health and safety would have a field day, though.
Yeah, but we did find you a pretty little set of armor.
It's full plate.
Although Alex might want it, I don't know.
What is it?
It was described as full plate made from a gem dragon, or the body of a gem dragon.
Traditionally, in 5th edition, we've got scale armor from dragon scales, made from either harvesting or donated. Gem dragon plate, however, that's its own unique beast, something from legend. You would never have heard of such a thing because it's mostly a dream. The greatest smiths of all time would have been required. And even then, you can't harvest from a dragon like that. The leftover material must be shed from a dragon, and it must be given willingly. So actually seeing a plate properly carved is exceedingly rare.
Just have to run to the bathroom really quick, guys.
Yep. And of course it radiates magical energy.
No, it doesn't. We're an anti-magic.
Maybe
You
it's
are.
an exception, like
Oh,
the Cerberus' Rage, or... The other one.
It certainly looks
yeah, well,
like...
I guess we'll...
Oh, I was just gonna brag it up some more. You go ahead.
I'll carry it for Flux until we're out of the magic field. So
you're gonna open the door that has it behind it?
Well, maybe I should wait for Jillian to get back from the bathroom first. No, I'll open it. Let's go open it. Let's open it.
No problem. It's not even locked. Picking up the suit off the rack, you note, however, as well, feels as light as a leaf in your hands. Incredible mastery. You've heard of elves who would be able to carve something of this exquisite detail and beauty, but the hardness, you'd need some assistance from the dwarves. And even then, the raw muscle required to just get it in the shape you want, you'd need some orcs on hand for that.
Well, this must have been manufactured here then, because we saw in the previous room or the previous floor, that it was all races constructed the place. This must be of here.
I think it's been about an hour, so Nimbar's Simulacra can get one more thing attuned. And actually, since we're at the quarter after mark, that nifty suit of armor, it's up to you all if you want to do the identify on it. I'm going to give out information since we have Jade on the team. Let's be honest, if the team's looking at stuff and Jade's standing around, he's probably inspecting places. Jade would have heard the machinations of the door to the northeast unlocking once that crystal came online. Despite the loud ba-boom from the hero landing from Flux, because I mean, when you got a plus 11 to the check, that's pretty nasty. But Jade can overhear and can pick up the unlocking of the door. So you can freely exit this chamber at any time. But I'm going to say we take a quick 15-minute break, because the team has to decide if they want to take the time to identify that suit of armor and letting Nimbar equip stuff and stuff like that. And, lunch break.
Yep. So I've only had a smoothie for breakfast, so I'm feeling it.
Oh, that's fair. Alrighty. We'll be back in 15, and we'll see you all at 12:30, unless anybody has any quick questions.
I guess the only question I have is, so we were told there's a few power stations like this we need to activate?
In total, there are 4 across the interior. However, one of them is completely detached. You're unable to get to it, but you only need to bring 3 of them online.
Right. And we found a crystal in the first floor behind the secret door.
I was supposed to use that to activate the elevator and then it be gone, but the DM may have forgot about that.
Alright, so I think I was a little confused, because I thought that we had to use that to activate the power source, but that activates the elevator.
Gets you through. Gets you to where you need to be, so that you're in the dungeon.
Alright, I'm following you. For some reason, I thought we had to find like 3 or 4 crystals, bring them to the power rooms, turn them on. We just need to activate the substations are called. All right. Okay.
Giant crystals. And if you're curious of what you're going to be in for, you can zoom out and get a good idea of how big this dungeon is. You're in the top right corner.
Yeah. You don't half make jobs for yourself here, Alan. That was quite a fair amount of scrolling for an RPG map I had to do.
Yep. That's why I say I got all the floors and all the fancy walls and all that put in, and I got to do some lighting and all that stuff, and I've been building. I just completely underestimated how long it was going to take, but alrighty. So let's take a quick 15. I'm going to toss the game on pause, and I'm just going to turn the music on pause as well, so you know I stepped out. And we'll be back at about 12:20 or 12:35.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright.
See you later. Bye.
Take the time to identify that suit of armor and let John equip some more gear.
We can identify it in 11 minutes.
Well, yes, but it's also probably going to take wherever the hell to equip it an hour, right?
I mean, that's if someone wants it. I mean, I assume they'll want it.
Of his head, rubs his jaw, and he's like, Epic loot drop in final dungeon. No one's gonna want to use that. So
I mean, you never know. Like, everyone's pretty happy with their magic items.
Oh yeah.
I think.
I tossed Jade a new sword, and he's like, "Bye, Honeysickle."
Poor Honeysickle.
No, Honeysickle is there. I have kept Honeysickle and Torm's vengeance for reasons.
Oh yeah, definitely. Attunement's the major thing here. He's got a fun sword. It was a fun one to make, but
yeah. Let's get out the room, and then if it only takes 11 minutes to identify it, then
Yeah, we'll figure out what it is and then figure out who needs it.
yeah, let's go from there. Are we going out of the room the side we know is safe, or do you want to go out the other door?
I feel we should probably check out this door at the very least, see what's up with it.
Yeah, my thinking is, like, if it's going to take about an hour, which is a short rest, then if we need to fight something here, we can at least get the benefits of that hour, aside from just the item.
I have unlocked the door, so you know.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Jade is like, the one unlocked door in the dungeon. Got ya. I mean, technically, you had to pick it by doing this whole part of the dungeon, but whatever. And sorry, Dean, you go ahead.
Otherwise, as you say, once we get that door unlocked, we'll need to do the bag of holding shuffle for your guy there.
I mean, I'm going to try and dimension door to the other side. Probably won't work, but you know.
I'll save you the time. You cannot dimension door through this space.
Fair enough.
However, the other you who's been watching all these shenanigans for an hour while equipping armor, have him give me an Arcana check.
He does not get advantage.
$34 on his Arcana check. He gives a snap of his fingers at around this point and gives a shout across the room to you that it's all void energy. Because the crystals siphon void energy, and that's what powers the city. This area is a dense field of it, pressing so hard down on everything in its path that it has grinded the walls perfectly smooth over the millennia, as this room contains the power that then shoots it out through the rest of the city, of course. But it's not an anti-magic field, it's a void energy field, which is why relics of a different world, like Flux's sword, or, you know, the Apocalypse longsword as well, would function just fine in this field. But all your standard modern-day magical equipment, bubkiss. Because they're incompatible. Damn spell plague.
I was there!
For which one? This city is very old.
Yeah. Alright, so let's open this door. What fresh hell awaits us?
Hallways leading off into the distance. And go ahead, give me a perception check.
Everyone, or?
Oh, well, anybody who would like to. I mentioned it for the Nimbar who was at the door, but definitely for Flux and for Alec.
Okie
dokie.
Nimbar scoring a 23 on perception hears the echoing sounds of the door itself opening, carrying through the halls. Flux agreeing, having heard nothing. Alec, meanwhile, he leans over, puts a hand on one ear, it grows up Looney Tunes style as he pulls a whopping 37 total as he squints and he gives a nod, quite certain that it's just winding, twisting hallways for the next little bit out there, that it's just a little too silent. Of course, walking out into this hallway the second you go past this door, the magical barriers emanating from the crystal come to an immediate halt, and all your magical gear is switched back online.
So, you know, guys, I can hear it's too quick.
I
did
take
not
it.
react.
I
Disappointingly.
Sparkly puppy reappears.
Because he's been doing it so much, I cannot resist.
And I'm
I
gonna...
step up here and pat his head, and good boy.
we would do the shuffle.
Yeah. I'm just saving you the step as much as I'd
Thank
like
you.
to. The shuffle will take about 10 minutes, though. You know, if I'm being fair, stuffing them into the bag, making your way across the room, getting them back out, and all that stuff, it'd take about 10 minutes with your regular paranoia that you've got.
Alex's leg, I think, starts to do that thing when someone gets a spot, like his back leg's just thumped.
And Fergus reacted to that.
Oh, the dog
Ignored your
barking
barking, though.
didn't
But
bat
the-
an eye.
No, but the leg tapping, he's like, danger, danger.
Yeah. All right. So, Dan, did you want to identify, or shall I?
I can.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And then you can do the bag shuffle thing.
Yeah.
So, as Dan takes the time to identify this suit of plate mail, he discovers it is in fact the legendary dragon plate mail of an emerald dragon. I'll give a direct link to the D&D Beyond page for it. But essentially, this legendary armor requires attunement by a druid only. And dragon plate, made of the hide of one of a kind of gem dragon. A scale that cannot be harvested as harvested. A scale that can't be gained by, like, bacon style, you know?
Oh dear.
A scale that cannot be harvested, because the DM is capable of speaking. He swears it on the precious, he swears it. Very rare occasions, dragons would collect their cast-off and gift them to humanoids. Only the most skilled crafter, as you know, could twist this emerald hide to create incredible interlocking plate, the true value of which could only be seen on those attuned to nature. While wearing this armor, you gain a whopping +3 bonus to AC on top of the full plate. That's a 21. Your strength is increased to a base of 15. You have advantage on saving throws against the frightful presence and breath weapons of dragons. And you have resistance to psychic damage. Dragonplate mail does not impose disadvantage on stealth checks and grants you proficiency with heavy armor while equipped. The challenge rating as well on your wild shape limit is increased by 2 to a maximum of 6 CR while equipped. And I'm going to give Jillian a point of inspiration for guessing that at the very start of the game. I actually sent her a PM like, you know what I'm doing today? Because I made this a couple bits of weeks ago. I've even equipped it to Dean's character a few times when he wasn't looking at D&D Beyond, just to make sure it worked. Because one extra fine ability. You can't use this to find the presence of dragons like Dragon Scale does. No, once per day, you may use your wild shape to assume the form of an adult emerald dragon. And after a maximum of 1 hour, this form will automatically revert. This special action can't be used again until the next dawn.
Jeebus, that's a lot packed in there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point it out, but when I click that link that you gave us, it just says page not bound.
Yeah, I figured it would do that.
When I clicked the link, it brought me right to it. I'd already read it.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think it has something to do with being in the campaign and being logged in while you're looking, but I can do a mini alt print here. Let me just grab paint so I don't paste over too much. People be like, Alan, why are you Googling how to kill players? It's like, I swear I don't know. But that is the link. If it works, it does. If not,
I wouldn't do that.
Toss that one up in handouts. Because I don't mind that they go up to a big whopping massive number for CR6 for the Moon Druid. I do mind that other druids never increase. So, Dean, have fun reading up to CR3 for your beasts. There's a few fun ones in there at that high of a CR. Assuming, of course, you're equipping this.
I think I just might. Yeah, seeing as I was struggling for magical items before.
Yup. I'm gonna add that to your character sheet. Oh, nope, not that one.
I'm going to need a
Wait a
dagger
minute. I need
that has a flute in it.
Dragon Zord.
Okay. Alright. For a second, I was like, wait. I'm very sad you put your once per day you may use your wild shape, because otherwise Dan could become a dragon.
Yep. That's why only those truly attuned.
He does stuff like that specifically, knowing I can pull shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I also wanted to limit it so that it's implied unless you're a level 20 druid, that's a tricky thing as well to do, because you got to give up one of your wild shapes and it has to be a good time.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thanks very much. It's
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And I have added it to your equipment on your character sheet. If you want to feel free to mess around with your D&D Beyond character, I'll do a re-import whenever you're ready.
Sure thing.
Though, you'll have to take an hour to rest. There's a nice little alcove to the northeast that ends in absolutely nothing but a dead end.
Oh yeah. Well.
I also love the icon I picked for that thing. I just used Minecraft Emerald Armworld. It's just funny. Armworld. Wow, I'm really losing it this afternoon.
Well, it's up to you guys if we want to spare the hour.
I mean, I still have another equipment slot.
It was important enough that he actually came out of his wild shape so he could talk to the party.
Yeah. I think, well, I said I was carrying it for Flux. I assumed it would be for her because it was plate mail.
See?
Pulled a sneaky on you.
I would have had to have came out in a wild shape to put it on the floor so they could wild shape, or so they could identify it.
You know, I walked into his office where he plays D&D and just looked at him and said, I know what it is. And he was like, what is it? I'm like, I can't tell you. And he's like, what is it? And I was like, I can't tell you.
Yeah, I gave her spoilers at the start.
I did, I got spoilers. And I already used that point of inspiration that Alan gave me.
Hey, at least you had it.
I was like, good job, keep this on the down low.
Tricksy hobbits.
Yeah, you can't use it to track emerald dragons. Not that you'd have to worry. You've never seen one. But now you know they're real.
I imagine if we're going to encounter an emerald dragon, we're not going to be the ones doing the tracking.
No,
it'll come to us. Do I give up my Ring of Free Action or my Illusionist Bracers?
Yeah, those were the two things I swapped out whenever I tested it on your character, and I'm like, he's gonna have a hard choice. He uses that Ring of Free Action to be a pain in my ass all the time.
I think I have quite a lot of competition for my bonus action, so I think it will be the Illusionist Bracers.
That's fair.
Some that not being paralyzed by stuff, I think, which is what I think the Ring of Free Action does.
Yes, that has been very useful.
It's yeah.
Yeah, the bonus action, like, I didn't think you used too much, but like this is definitely much better.
Yeah, well, I can what you call it? My archer form has a bonus action that I can use, but I use Healing Word a lot or Misty Step.
That's fair. Yeah, no, this is.
Look at that. If I'm using my shield, 26 AC. That's
hot.
What's wrong with that?
Pretty crazy. I'm going to try.
What's Jade?
25.
Oh.
Well, guys, my armor class is 21, so
Yeah, I only have a 19. I don't even hit the
that's
20
supposed
mark.
to have a high AC. Get out of here.
Someday Flux will get better armor. Someday soon.
The next thing we find will be better armor for her.
Man.
That is.
So if we're going to attune, Nimbar is going to cast a tiny hut here. Will they do that so that way they can attune?
Alan, you've did what wizards could not.
Darn right I did. You can now turn into a shark. A big one.
Baby shark do 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 do. I don't know how it goes.
So Alec turns into a shark and then Flux uses him as a weapon?
Oh god. Turns into shark, you make Flux large, he jumps on his back, they ride off looking epic into the sunset. Bad guy's just like, nope, I'm out.
And then Copy Nimbar will attune to the Tome of the Still Tongue.
Alright.
Because this is worth waiting the hour for him to attune. 100%.
Now, I've already thrown the game clock forward an hour, and nothing happens in that time while you're chilling and adjusting. I will say that elven armor, once donned, is exceptionally comfortable and very smooth. Basically wraps over your body like second skin.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a hit die, actually, because while I still have the potion of vitality activated, I may as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Deselected my hit die, and then I reselected them again. Okay, that looks better.
Man, I'm just turning that light off so there's a little less lag for everyone, but it's still going.
So that means I get, I don't know how to do this, 15 hit points back, which is more than enough, I believe.
What the hell is an Obliteros?
What?
Huge beast. What?
How do you spell it?
Obliteros. It must be a named thing because that's not a thing.
When I pulled it up, I'm showing.
How do you spell it again?
It's a named shark. I thought you did. Yeah.
Okay.
Senior Bite the first. Meanwhile, Dean's like, this changes everything.
Friend posted this in another Discord, but anyone want a slice of pizza?
Oh Jesus!
Right?
I don't want to die though.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Does Saruman serve that pizza? You have chosen death. Yeah, there's just no. That's like just instant diarrhea right there.
Take one bite, and you just like, excuse me, while I go to the washroom.
I would
Johnny
eat it on the
Cash,
bathroom.
Yeah.
So
You got that nice toilet upstairs too with the multi-function fan settings. You'll be fine.
yeah.
The rest of us, you grab a disc of Johnny Cash and you get that old song, "The Ring of Fire," playing. Oh man. Oh damn. You want to say that, but I have an upstairs bathroom too. They're very nice.
Hey, excuse me, I'm gonna have to go buy a bidet so I can keep the cold water going the whole time.
You get one of those like power pressure washer attachments, so you can put the soap in it, but instead it's just ice.
Yeah. Sorry for the tangent, but I needed to share.
Yep. Oh my god. So, yeah, here. Alex, fully loaded with new armor and a power-up.
That might warrant a token change.
Oh?
Been a long time. If you get a picture, I'll gladly make one.
Oh, I was just gonna use a picture of the armor. Like, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty
Yeah.
sexy.
Do
It's
you have
actually
a
took me
be-
while to settle on that one.
We just need to add a little beard to it. All right.
I'll throw it in the handout for the actual full thing.
Oh, I just pulled it off of the image off of D&D Beyond. But if you've got it there and ready to go, like I know I've got your instructions for tokens somewhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am happy for you. No, correct me if I'm wrong. You all now have a custom item, do you not?
Don't worry.
Cerdis range.
I was just gonna say, John, listen. Love to you, buddy. But you're a wizard.
No. I have a custom book, but I don't have a custom item.
With all due respect, John, you're a wizard. Eat my ass.
I wasn't complaining. I was just saying.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
The only reason we have custom items is because wizards won't make any for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like,
True. Could you imagine if somebody actually played a ranger in this game? They'd be coming up to the end and be like, I am so strong. And I'd just be like, yes, you are, my friend. A little tear in my eye. And I'm like, now you run along and play with your friends.
Oh, man.
so what did the ranger get? Oh, they were just pure custom items up the yin yang. We had to make it playable.
Oh yeah, this one here imposes disadvantage with ranged attacks made that they make it once per day with this ability. And someone's like, that's so broken. And I'm like, you'd think that, but no. There you go. I swapped out Alex's token. I left the character picture inside as the OG one that you had. But if you wanted the armor, I shot that on for you.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that shows the two sides of them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If only D&D Beyond would work, so I could upload my fucking picture.
Right.
Jesus Christ! How do two images, like your API calls are given 400 errors on a live site and no one's fixed it in over a week? Like, it's just me. I would be kicking up a fuss at my workplace saying, guys.
Yeah, but
console says red. Bad.
so just so we're clear, I need to remind you something now. Wizards of the Coast now owns D&D Beyond.
It did say there's a worrying drop in technical quality since they took it over.
That is like the fact that they bought something this well made is amazing. Now it has to go downhill to match their other product. Other electronic products. Like, let's not kid ourselves.
But
I'm not a salty Magic player. I don't know what you're talking about.
It doesn't make sense because it works fine in Firefox, so it's broken for the world's most popular browser, which is insane. So it doesn't work in Chrome.
Yeah, it needs Chrome.
Their market share does.
Who needs it?
Oh, okay. Alec will walk over to Flux and go, is this what it's like?
Oh my god, Fergus just farted.
I'm going to spoil this a moment.
Oh my god, I can taste it.
Oh.
He has been a nasty little man recently.
Don't look
Just-
at me like that, Fergus. It's your fault, you nasty little man.
He sounds like he's
Oh.
eating some of Dante's DG Orino. Yeah, sorry.
You've brought a curse upon this household, John.
Well, I wasn't the one who said, "Here, show this to Fergus. Give him some ideas."
I don't know what the fuck he's done. I actually.
It makes a dog pass gas.
I actually, when I came down the stairs, he farted, and I was like, fucking hell, have the pipes burst? What the fuck is that? I went into my bathroom and checked that like, the
Yep, I smelt it too. It was gross.
the plumbing was okay.
Oh, the worst is that
It's-
little guy is silent when he lets him rip.
Yeah, there's no warning.
Sorry for anyone watching this video. I know we record this in public.
Yeah, this is D&D, right?
Publish
essentially
it.
the doc makes them roll con saves every 20 minutes.
It's true.
I rolled mine at disadvantage right now.
Oh my. Well, as you send Not Nimbar forward, if you want to just go ahead and move your tokens forward, by all means. I'll pretend that Not Nimbar's got the lead, but that way you know there's no major restrictions. Because these always go on, echoing footsteps as you make your way through, though they are now illuminated with standard bright light, thanks to the power source having been switched back on within this labyrinth of crystals. You need to find at least 2 more. What's up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I thought you were coming up to a break in the sentence. Our familiars, they get zapped
Oh, you
on
had
the
someone
floor
just
above.
back.
Okay, well I'll bring him along. It's a wild shape thing for me, so I'll pop that.
He's an owl or is he an imp?
We'll let him be an owl for now. He's been an imp for long enough. We'll give him a little break here.
Once we
But
make
we
it to
can-
a new zone, I'll drop him so you don't have to worry about dragging him along.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
We kind of need him to be an imp though, so that way we can understand you.
Oh yeah, he does translate for me while I'm in.
I'll move yours along as well,
Wolfsbarn.
Julian. I imagine, given the style of the map right now, it might be giving you a headache.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so there's a imp riding a dire wolf.
Amazing.
For now, while I figure out with the new CR stuff.
One real interesting thing you'll be noticing about this plate mail that you carry as your feet step upon the ground. It doesn't clang, it doesn't rattle. You're almost as silent as leather armor, which is why there's no imposing disadvantage on your stealth checks. But you walk practically quiet.
Nice.
Doesn't give you
Just so-
bonuses, though, but, you know.
Well, luckily I've got boots of elven kind that I wore to stop the clanking of the mail. So I theoretically. Nice, John. Yes. Accurate.
Oh my word. It's the direction the team is going in, according to John. It's possible. It's possible.
I mean, he did say the imp was riding the wolf. What else am I supposed to think of?
Well, by the time you make it to the end of this twisting, turning hallway, mostly quiet and silent, you find another pair of those mighty double doors.
I assume there's just nothing at this dead end.
No, just a dead end.
So weird. so we found another door. Tap the staff tells me it's anti-magic.
Oh, yeah. By default, all doors. You can just assume it going forward.
Alright.
It's a default for the construction.
Alright. I'm going to do it on each one, so if there is, for whatever reason, one that isn't,
Oh, yeah.
let
I'll
us
you
know. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so. We have a door in front of us. That is locked. Is it locked? Mei-chan, try and open it.
It is indeed locked.
I will check for traps.
I'll give him guidance.
Right. May the dice be with you.
I will give you moral support. Yay, you can do it!
With a 36, you find no traps on this door, though it is firmly locked. And of course, the same magical rules apply, so you don't get advantage on the roll.
Yep.
Yuki's like, I've carried you for a long time in this game, my friend. But on these doors, good luck. Not that all the other magical effects of that key aren't handy as hell anyway, you know, but... With a 39, the door is most certainly unlocked. Opening this door up, you see a rather interesting room in front of you. Stonework tiled floor, looking rather delicate underfoot. As you glance around, at the far end of this room, there's a number of tables and a glass partition. However, you do notice a door as well, on the southeastern wall. But it's to the southwest where most of the interesting stuff is that you can't see from your present angle.
Saber-toothed tiger.
As you make your way into this room and glance forward, you can see a couple tables at the far end of it. On it, some generic instrumentation controls. Things you'd see almost inside an airship, some levers, twists, and dials. And a glass panel at the far end of the floor, where you can see it's actually open underneath said glass. From your present position, you can't see what's down there, but you could always go over and take a look. And Dean, your mini's way back. Do you need me to pull you forward?
Yeah. Sorry, I was lost in the wild shape list there.
No worries at all. I'll drop you down in the room. Because yeah, you've
No
got a bit of an
Yeah.
expansion there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt you heard me gasp. Saber-toothed tiger.
But yeah, it's a dire wolf. Go full Power Rangers with that one. Nimbar creeps his way over, as I can see, as he makes his way towards the glass, which he notices is in fact a localized force field, similar to the one that protects the entirety of this city. You know there'd be no way to bring it down. You'd have to figure out a command, but that's probably not what's catching your attention. Go ahead, give me a perception check as you peer into the darkness below. What do your gnome eyes see? Little more
Fuck
than
all.
smoke, and what appears to be a metal catwalk at the edge of the smoke, but you can't see well enough to tell what's going on.
There may be a catwalk, guys. I don't know.
Speaking of walking, over comes our tabaxi. Because I never make cat jokes, so I had to do it.
You gotta be kidding me right now.
What's up?
Kitten meow?
Kitten, didn't hear kid. Gotcha.
Also meow?
Well, I heard the meow, but just in case. I had to check just in case. So Dan, if you're having Jade pop over to take a peek, you're more than welcome to a perception check. You have dark vision, right?
Yep.
Alrighty. With a 29 total as you peer down, you see something somewhat shocking. And as I'm explaining this to Jade, if everyone could put their minis on the map where they would be in this game. Sure, there's a catwalk, a metal ramp walking all the way around. But most important and most notable, you see the certain construct that you had fought previously. You remember the Juggernaut on your way down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jade sees hundreds of them lined up underneath that catwalk. At the far end, you can see machines and machinations as well. Go ahead and give me a knowledge check for Jade on that one. You can use history if you want.
Can I assist him?
Nope.
Fuck.
With good old reliable talent of 22, Jade's peering through the darkness and he can see some machines in the distance and hundreds of juggernauts beneath your feet going on as far as the eye can see. Maybe thousands of them. Anyone else want to give a perception check and possibly history check?
Nimbus, copy Nimbus, gonna creep over, see if he can see anything better.
The best I could do would be, if I rolled a nat 20, would be to match that history check, so I don't... I'll give a perception check, but...
I'm sorry, guys!
As you ruined the party spell. With a 27 perception, you can reinforce what Jade's seeing. A whole bunch of machines in the far distance that are presently inactive, and so many of these machines beneath you, the juggernauts.
With them describing it to Nimbar, can I make the check?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, you said it's a history check?
Yep. Knowledge history. With an 18.
Oh, thank God.
30. They start describing, yeah, there's this weird long ramp thing with a hook on the end. It almost looks like a claw. Yeah, kind of more like a claw. And you're like 45-degree angle coming up from a blow. Yeah, grabs this, yeah, grab this, yeah. And after, a conversation like this back and forth, as you discuss the components that connect and all that, you come to realize what's below your feet is a factory for producing juggernauts. Presently inactive, it looks like it would require more power to come online. But it's definitely a place that forges these things automatically. One was a nightmare to fight. There's an army of them below your feet.
So, okay. I think this is out of character, but what I think the plan is we're going to beat this dungeon, claim the city as their own, get them up and running under our control, and then have them go fight the many of us. I'm hoping that's the plan. I'm really hoping that's the plan.
As Dean was hoping last weekend, and we get a big gun to shoot the ship.
Yeah, and we get a big gun to shoot the ship. I'm hoping the end game of this is just us going, fly, my minions! Take them down!
The one hesitance I have...
Oh, only one? Oh,
is, well... One of the few of the many hesitancies I have. Our deal with the devil says that as soon as we... Well, it was something like, as soon as we defeat Negadusty and free our Dusty soul, he'll instantly take us out of Avernus, out of his domain.
Once you
so
Avernus, it becomes his. No ifs, ands, or buts, no ways out of it. Very amazingly worded contract. I remember John was like, okay, give me the wordings for it. And I'm like, bro, I'm not a lawyer. He's got us all beat. This guy wrote the rules, so you know.
Yeah, so...
And he will exit you from Avernus. He did say he would do that. And he'd have no qualms and no battle with you during that time. He'd set you free. If you return, No bets. All deals are off, but if you win, he wins.
Yeah.
So, what I'm thinking is that if we're going to make this droid army, we gotta have a kill switch that we just boom. So I don't want. Well, I don't imagine none of us want the devil having a droid army on top of his legions.
Agreed.
Well,
I mean,
there
we-
are
we-
the panels right directly behind where those three wooden
Yeah.
things are. We should look a lot cooler, but at the end didn't get that far.
But you know, we got to deal with one problem as it comes. But if we can find a kill switch, then we can just go, oh yeah, we'll leave.
But if we take control of the city is our possession, the droids it makes is our possession, so therefore he would have to release them to us, because they're ours.
I mean, that's what we think. He also says that we all owed him a favour because Flux carried him off the hill when he looked like...
no, that's a different
Well,
devil.
that's
Oh,
Asmodeus himself that you all owe a favor to.
Potato, shite jobby, they're devils.
Find a little hill in the middle of nowhere with an old man in a cave. Y'all help me up that hill? Team's like, sure, we'll help you, old man. And he's like, amen. That was a good one. It's like number 4 to try to trick the players. The other 3 failed miserably, but the 4th one, it took off.
So it demonstrates my point. What we think and what they think, I don't think it means too much.
Small favor. Hey, can I borrow your city? Hey, can I borrow your car? That's Modius. He's like, I just need to go get some milk. Can I borrow your city?
So, as we launch the attack, maybe we activate the self-destruct button as we make the attack. Even if we die, this is going to be a crater.
Yes, but what if he decides that the city is ours, like I said, and sends it out with us? Then wherever we go out to, kaboom.
I did not know you were so optimistic.
That, I mean, you know, we've not got great choices no matter what we do. It's just something I'm bearing in mind.
And as you're all discussing this, and maybe when what Nimbar's looking back, trying to find a kill switch or some form of control on all those controls, you hear a horrifying sound as the door to this room unlatches itself. You've got enough time to turn your heads to the side as the doors pop open. And you see more mechanical constructs having come to find you. Carved from metal and obsidian with a blue glow permeating their forms. They look towards you and crouch into combat ready.
Those are really cool, though. I like them.
Yeah.
You like them right now. How about after you've rolled for initiative?
What? We're rolling for initiative? No way!
Don't they want to
The
be
same initiative on both of them.
friendly Terminators? Okay, so I need to add a D8 to whatever I roll, which is so far middling. Well, oh, if I even need to adjust the adjust the score on that one. Wow.
Amazing.
Alan, I don't know if it will come into play if you've got more nasties coming after us, but I should be a 14, but I don't think it's going to affect much if what we've got in front of us is that.
And I'm just updating here a little bit. You got 14 total for Alec?
Yeah, my gift of alacrity. But it turns out foresight is not Alec's specialty. Who'd have thought?
That's gonna work well though, because Jade's got a 14 with a higher dex
Yeah, it was just in the off chance there's something gonna like crawl up that catwalk or something. But it doesn't matter for now.
So I would bring Flux's initiative up to 13.
That'd be nice. I give you the update on the list. I think Alec has a higher dex than you do, I guess, just because. Well, maybe not. You got 15.
No.
He's at 14, right?
14.
Oh, yeah.
I also have 14 because remember that 1 point went to strength instead. Yeah, but he can go first anyway, alphabetical.
Alright. So then, face down to the enforcers of the entirely spread their mechanical stone wings and begin to charge forward. First up is Nimbar's simulacrum.
Are we supposed to see them?
They're right by the door here.
Are they?
Yeah,
Here,
they're like on the other side of it.
let me know if this helps. Can you see them now?
No.
You may need the dreaded F5.
That's what I just did. I'm sitting there like, they look really cool. Oh, they're probably set to invisible. No, it's just you, John.
With all the assets the map's loading, oh, probably all of us.
Well, everyone else could see them. It was just me, apparently.
One Juggernaut dangerous. You drop like 5 on it, something, they ruin it. You got hundreds here.
Okay, so they're actually inside the room now.
Yeah, I just moved them forward to re-trigger your vision.
Yeah, okay, so I see them. So where are they going to be there, or are they on the other side of the door?
Let me drop them back for you. Can you still see them move?
Yep.
Alrighty. So you go ahead.
Okay. I kind of want to be a little silly, guys. So, how tall are they?
Sorry for that. Medium-sized creatures.
Okay. Oh, I don't think that actually will work. And how high is the ceiling?
The ceiling in this room would be 15 feet.
Okay, guys, what I'm thinking, and I do want your opinion, is I'm thinking I can throw down a wall of force and just kind of like block one out, and then we fight one at a time. Or we can just say screw it and fight both of them at the same time.
I mean, it's your spell slot, so it's kind of up to you. If you're going to do something with an area of effect, now's the time to do it when the coast is clear.
Again,
so to speak.
I'm just thinking like it was either that or probably like a fireball of some sort. I
try the control. Like
right.
the more we find out, if we find out they can't be restrained or something.
Yeah.
Just now, it's probably better.
So what I'm going to do, I can cast it as I choose, and then what I will do is kind of like make it along here where they are, which will then shove one forward and one back, so they're blocked off.
You've got 10 foot by 10 foot panels. That's a lot to do. Just use the drop to mark out where you're going to be dropping.
Do I have to use all of them?
No. That's how
yeah,
many you have.
yeah. And where is the draw tool?
It's the pencil. You know I have pencil?
No.
Oh, maybe just me then. Alrighty. So you're looking
I was like,
where?
Like, more or less, I'm just making a small thing that did not work. Like, along here. I just wanted to block off this corner. And shoving one forward into us and one into, like, behind the wall. Yeah, which will let me force, like, this one. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Already.
And obviously it's going floor to floor. Or floor to ceiling. And that would be copy number's turn. So the one that is locked out.
They're going to take a ready action. And now for the one that's locked in. Upon seeing it, copy number casts the spell, it spreads its wings. It takes off after. Nope, I'm still on the wrong way.
Is it? Oh, if this is built by mages, what are the chances all their guards are like just mage killers?
Oh, probably.
As it approaches, you see blades sliding out from either of its arms, which become a flurry of spins against you. And you have AC 19?
Yes.
Oh, first one's a fail, and that's for similar.
Both of them had. Yeah. Okay.
Second swing with the blade is a hit.
Copy, or actual real Nimbar would like to use his reaction to silvery barbs. Jade, you look like you need advantage.
It's still a hit.
I mean, that's fair.
Which means I'm gonna need a concentration check.
Well, I need to.
For 22 points of slashing damage as the first sword connects.
22. Okay.
Oof, I rolled another one. You're lucky. The third attack with the sword is as well. And the fourth, as it swings an additional time towards you, will be a connect.
Copy Nimbar will now use his reaction to silvery barbs. A Flux, you look like you need advantage.
And you take another 11 points of slashing damage, and you're gonna have to give me another concentration check. Easy.
I can't actually fail.
That's fine.
Ow. That was not fun, guys.
And Jake's turn.
And the simulacrum can't be healed, right? That's one of their things.
Correct.
Okay. So I cannot worry about that.
Yep.
Average is Sever with the new sword.
Alright. Jade whips out Moonlight, his secret weapon.
It's so funny that like those movies, like they have to redo the fighting scenes so many times now because all the actors make the sound.
A 1 and a 2. Destiny is not on Jade's side today as the Kintyre Enforcer spins. Maybe he overcompensated for the blade not having any weight. We'll go with that as he sails past them with a swing. blade of pure energy forming from the hilt of the sword that you got there. Alec's turn. Sorry, Dan, that really sucks, man.
Okay.
I mean, there's the second one. You get your chance to pull the super Avernus stab you get.
You need to come and see Fergus.
Jesus, you said that and then the dryer buzzed and I shat myself. Oh, he's just enjoying some butt scratches. I hope you don't wake it up and he farts again. Oh yeah, no, he's having a good time now. He's showing his belly and everything.
He's got all four of his paws up in the air.
Aww.
Present
He's such a good boy.
Present me, I'm a princess.
I just got dog hair all over the sheets that we just washed, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. That is just something you need to not worry about.
Okay, we'll get one trapped, hopefully, touch wood, one mincing up simulacrum, and I said I was a wolf last time, right?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Right. Didn't say I was in star form, so bonus action. I will.
I thought you had said you were constantly recasting starry form, though.
I did say that, but also said I would notify the chat when I did that. So I guess that is DM's call.
I'll let you have your starry form. You're running through a dungeon, so if it doesn't
Okay,
keep
okay.
it up, it's like the hunter's mark sort of thing. I'd rather you not have to worry about the small ideas when it's already been activated.
All right. Okay. So I'll.
Thanks, Alan.
Say it's the archer form. It's the start of my turn, so it switches to the archer form. I'm a danger pup, so I will do a primal savagery as a danger pup. See how this goes. $32. Sweet. And I will just it will be disadvantage, but it's what else am I going to be doing? So what's that?
Oh god.
Oh, it doesn't count, no.
Oh, I know, because it's disadvantage. But still, a 30's a hit.
Yeah.
The game's like, oh, you want to roll a crit? Here you go.
Way to give us all false hope.
Let me see.
15 points of damage from that add-on.
And that will be my turn. I thought about trying to use the bite attack on the wolf to see if I can pull it to the ground, but I imagine it will make a DC 13 strength check, guys. I don't know about you.
Probably, yeah.
Flux's turn. As she stares down the barely injured enforcer who tanked that 38 damage so far, like a champ.
Yeah, I have concerns.
Do I have advantage on all my hits or just the first one?
Just the first one.
Just the first one.
Yeah, but yeah, if you go above or below Jade, you'll have advantage because Alex or I.
Oh, right. I wasn't thinking of the diagonals. I'll go over there. Okay. I'll do what I do best.
Here we go. Time to break in the 4 attack run.
Yep.
Line up against this monster in front of you.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll the attacks 4 in a row, and then I'll roll the damage if I hit.
After that,
Yeah.
you're gonna get crits. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. Nope. That's a hit.
you made me tense there for a second, Alan.
I'm gonna stick. Sorry, I'm gonna stick with force damage.
Alright.
Here comes the damage.
So Flux rushes up with her sword in hand, spinning around with a new stance and maneuver that she had mastered from all of her years traversing through hell. The result? 4 swings in 1 turn, and I'm assuming you're gonna want this little bad boy tossed out there too, huh?
Yeah, I'll put it out on my. I'll get through this first though before I get to the bonus action.
Oh yeah. 28, 32, 30. 90 damage so far. Plus another 27. 117 points of damage. Decimate the Enforcer's health.
I just like how I can use both my actions and do barely more than one of Flux's attacks. It's fighters are cool.
Admittedly, Flux has put the time in. Jillian's put the time in. She's gone through 20 levels. She did her time in Azkaban. 20 levels worth. The fighters like, yeah, check out my damage now. Level 20.
Yeah, no, I just think fighters are super cool.
Yeah.
Its movement is reduced by 10, and I think I might also use a maneuver. Let me double check. I should have looked at it first. Okay, I'll use a goading attack on one of those hits. So if you could please roll a wisdom save to see if it falls for my taunt.
Ooh, what's the DC?
23.
23 fails.
Okay.
You know,
I think I.
that was a nat 20.
Oh, so they have 4 wisdom, right? So I will add another d12 to the damage.
Alright.
I believe. It does add to the damage, so it'll probably be a 1. 11 points of damage.
You are right. There is a 1 there. It just one's stuck together.
Anything else for Flux's turn?
Oh, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Real Nimbar's turn.
Ooh, what shall I do? I don't know why I didn't look at this earlier. I am sorry, guys.
Jake's gonna sit and chat with you.
The problem is a lot of my things are area of effect, and I don't feel like trying to kill you people today.
Oh, it was your simulacrum then that went already?
Yeah, simulacrum went. Simulacrum is purple. I am white.
Gotcha. I was trying to figure out why you got 2 turns. I forgot that you had a simulacrum up.
We're going to cast Crown of Stars.
Reflects off their incredibly durable hide given here. You rolled a 1, unfortunately, but today the dice are really weird.
Yeah. I mean, that's my turn. That's actually not right. I will have to. Yeah, that wasn't actually enough. I mean, like I still roll 1, so but it should have been a 20.
It looks like it might be missing a piece off it in the middle there. Anything else for Nimbar's turn?
No. That'll be that.
Jade 2. Second turn for Jade. Jade 2, the comeback. You go ahead and roll up your attack with your Moonlight Blade. You roll a critical on this, it's got a pass a con save, or it'll die. 23's a hit. You go ahead and roll your damage. That red burning blade cutting through like a hot knife through butter. Pulling 37 damage on its own, plus your sneak attack. On top, decimating its health. It's very much looking near death as you've shaved off a good chunk of obsidian from its back. Anything else for your character's turn?
No.
Alright. And now it's Kamashak's turn, and I'm going to remove Jade's second turn from the combat list. That was so handy.
Right, so I think I think I said he was going to be an owl, then John raised the point that he was going to be an imp so that he could talk for me. So in that case then he'll use his action to disengage and come on, move. Nope. Oh, I need to unmount him first probably.
Gotcha.
And then no. Oh, there we go. He will fly up into this corner and hide. I actually don't know how I did that.
Usually it's huge. They must have updated it. Upgrade.
Is it like, how do you get? I don't know how I did that though. Made the target thing.
It follows automatically for whoever's turn it is, but it's not.
Oh, it does?
Huge.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd clicked something, so it was being a bit unresponsive there, but nope. Okay, that's him. Cool beans.
Nimbar's turn. We start round 2. Simulacrum Nimbar, who has an enforcer above him, leaning forward and screaming down. Think like Terminator right before it's getting crushed with your Sarah.
I'd like to pat him on the back.
Joy buzzers.
I assume he's not wearing armor, correct?
Oh.
Oh.
Hits.
He can only get
Fingers
plus
on the
7.
table, looks at your character and waves a finger like, read it.
Yeah, no, I need to refix that. That clearly is wrong.
8 on your attack roll.
Yeah, so 8 plus this one should only have 17. So 25.
25 is a hit. You go ahead and roll your damage.
Sorry about that, guys.
Intervenes. No, first, no, haha. 28 points of lightning damage is enough to finish off the enforcer, which breaks and falls apart into pieces beneath the attack.
I got one, guys.
Nice.
Anything else for your character's turn?
Yes, he is then going to move up here, and then I'm going to draw.
What
I
kind
can
of
drop-
action does
yeah,
it
what-
take to?
Yeah, what type of action does it take to drop concentration?
It's a good. Is there like a condition in the spell, or is it like?
You can end concentration at any time on a spell. No action required.
But,
Okay, so can I do that like after the Conqueror Enforcers, before Jade's turn?
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, so I will ready to stop that when it's Jade's turn.
stands upright, gives its wings a beat as he glare towards the caster, and then move backwards, flapping its wings as it moves outside of your field of view.
Well, I've not seen the enemies do that before.
I'm a little worried. Like, I don't know why, but like, it running away scares me more than fighting it.
Jade's turn.
That's, I think, a perfectly reasonable feeling to have.
Well, Jade's turn.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
dropping the thing. That's fine.
No more thing?
I am concerned about the guy just, around the corner. I'll probably regret this.
And as Jade makes his way around the corner, what you got? Dark vision? Anything else?
60
What?
60 feet of dark vision, 10 feet of blind sense.
Alrighty. I'm gonna pull you back just 5 feet, don't mind me. Give me a perception check as you come into the area. So you prevented from getting advantage as your blind sense kicks in at the last second possible. You notice from the corner reappearing as it turns off invisibility with a blade swinging 10-foot range to strike you. The Conqueror Enforcer has reappeared.
Couldn't have advantage anyways.
No, I know. It's like the fourth one I've rolled on their attack rolls. This is a little sickening. They miss as Jade ducks underneath the swing. Still Jade's turn.
And I will attack.
Alright. You get ahead, roll your attack roll. You didn't do the sound effects used to make the swing. 23 is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. 19 points total of damage against the creature.
Also, don't mind me. I'm just making sure that this works now. Because I shouldn't get a 200 plus to it.
Yeah, alright, I deleted though. You're good.
Yeah.
Just so it doesn't confuse me, I'll be like, when did you shocking grasp? It's Jade's turn. I know he didn't get the second one yet, or the first or one. Oh no, I'm confused. I'm
Yeah,
confused
that's
now.
also that's still not right. No.
Anything else for Jade's turn, Dan?
No.
Alrighty. As your turn comes to a close, it is Alex's turn.
Okay, okay.
It appears as though the Conqueror Enforcer picked up the active camouflage add-on.
It must have finished Metal Gear Solid without getting spotted. let's see. This, okay. I don't think this is the best thing to do. I feel like I'm letting myself in for disappointment here, but I don't think I've ever cast this spell. I will howl and cast the frostbite cantrip. It's a con save, so it's probably pretty good at them, but you never know.
No, that damage is painful.
Well, the big thing with this is that if it works, it'll get disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. So it's really trying to
overtake its constitution. You sense that it's exceptionally fortitude. It's got a lot of fortitude. I really today.
I thought that might be the case.
And worse than that, it seems resistant to magical damage.
Okay, dokie.
Or resistant to magical effects. So he knows rolling with advantage against that.
Ah, okay, right. I get you. In that case, for my bonus action, I don't want to run in there and block up the way for Flux, so I will just do this. Oof, a 1 and a 3 on that damage roll. So that's
damage from your Starry Archer form.
Yep, and then that'll be my turn.
Next up, it's Flux's turn.
I will go where I indicated, just there. So, if I do the drag thing and then hit a button, what does that? What button do I hit again?
Spacebar?
Yeah, space will move you.
Nice, thanks, guys.
No.
That's all I can move. However, it shouldn't go back into the room.
Jillian, I don't know if you've updated it yet, but remember we got that blessing? So we got an extra 5 foot of movement speed. It was the...
I went 35.
Okay. Right, I saw it wasn't on your character sheet. I wondered if it hadn't updated.
Yeah, no, it's on my D&D Beyond one.
Do we not have your character's weapon on her character sheet anymore?
Cyrudus' Rage? You must, because I rolled with it on the last turn.
Do you have like a short
Oh!
or something?
No, I don't. I have a 10-foot reach though, don't I?
Yep, I'm pulling it back on your character sheet because it wasn't in yours. Yeah, that blade has a 10-foot reach since it is Y handler. You don't get any proficiency in multiple weapons, just the one, because of what it has. So yeah, you can still abracadabra chop. That's a hit.
You can try. I don't have advantage anymore.
That's a hit.
Oh, the 25's a hit? That's good.
That's a hit. And that's a hit. 30, 25, 35, 31 as Flux charges in and starts chopping. So you go ahead and roll your damage on those.
Movement speed reduced to by 10 as well.
56 damage so far.
I'm also probably gonna use on one of those attacks. I'll use goading attack again.
Alright. 110 damage. As you slice into the entire enforcer, causing extreme pain, badly injured, and another 2 damage.
Yeah, it's not much. I'll move my... Okay. Move this by 20 feet. But I think that's all I can move it.
Alright, anything else for Flux's turn? Next up, Nimbar. Real Nimbar.
Alright, so I'm going to to move down here. As a bonus action, I'm going to throw my little light at it. I'm gonna look.
This little light of mine.
I was just about to make that joke.
Jillian's on point today.
So attack. I don't think this is adding rate still. Why not?
29 is a hit. Go ahead.
Let me just look. That's not actually rate, so it should only be 24.
24 is a hit. You go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. I'm trying to find out why it's adding like that random +5. But 28 points of radiant damage.
They both, there we go. As you ting it harder. It's looking badly injured, but still standing, wings spreading wide.
Toll the dead on it. Makes a DC 25 wisdom saving throw.
And it fails the save, so you go ahead and roll damage on that. For 22 points of damage. Still looking badly injured, but not yet down.
That'll be my turn.
Alright. Comic Jack, cheers on the party.
Yeah, so he'll go invisible as well. Don't hurt me.
Sorry for that little area of effect thing, Alan. It was a mistake.
Move down here. And can I get another DC 25 wisdom save?
Wisdom is definitely its dump stat, so just go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah, I did.
17 points.
Yep. That's a copy number.
Here's the question. As it spreads its wings wide and takes off into the air. 15 feet up it's going to fly, which is going to give Jade and Flux an attack of opportunity against it as it gets out of their range.
I'm so mad I don't have Sentinel. Like, ugh.
It's nice. You may not have Sentinel, but it's near death and you got wham bam damage from you and Jade.
I believe in you too. Please save me.
Otherwise, it's going right after that wizard. Usually they'd be like, oh, I'll fight the person who's near me. But you know, these are actually smart enemies.
Its movement is reduced by 10. I'm sure it won't make a difference, but I just wanted to say it out loud just in case.
29 points of damage. It's still standing, though near death as it is. Can Jade take it down with Moonlight before it kills the simulacrum? Unfortunately, an 18 is a miss against its armor class.
Wait, how does Silvery Barb work? I'm just
checking that it's
Yeah,
take the war. Well, I mean,
no, it happens when a creature succeeds on attack roll.
Wait a second. I've been a little unfair. I haven't given out Bellamy's Bardic Inspiration one time. And after Jade failed last round, you know she would have gave it to Jade. Dan, why don't you roll a Bardic Inspiration die to add on to see if you can push up to the AC?
D8, right?
I believe so.
yeah, she's a 10th level bard, so that sounds about right.
That was me, but I have Flux selected, so.
24 is a hit. You go ahead and roll your damage. Points of damage. The Kintyre Enforcer, though seriously injured and hurt, is not dead.
Oh boy.
So it's going to book the second that it's in midair. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 to get to where it's at there. Minus 10 is 55. Plus the 20, 15 to go up is 70. Plus another 15 to go down is 85. Yep, that's within its 90. It's going to roar and attack viciously with that little wizard. Yeah. I rolled a lot of ones today. Oh, but that's going to be a hit against the mark.
Is it though?
No, I rolled another one.
Jade, you need advantage.
That's insane.
I rolled a lot of ones. The third,
Yeah.
That's going to be a hit.
Is it though?
Unless I roll a 1, there's a good chance. Yeah, it's a hit.
Damn it. Hey, Flux, you can have advantage.
And
The
fourth one
worst-
is a critical.
Oh boy. I'm going to be a very short-lived simulacrum, I think.
20 points of damage from the first hit as the sword slices you.
Yeah, I can't fail that.
And 25 points of damage from the critical hit as the second sword slices you.
It has disadvantage on those rolls because I used goading attack.
Oh!
Let me roll up 2 more attacks then.
Oh, Jesus. I
Make sure they both still hit.
stabbed myself with a pen.
Come on, roll some ones. Roll a 1.
I've rolled a lot of them, John. The odds can't be in your favor that much today. Nope, they are not. They're both still hits.
Okay, but you do have to re-roll that damage because you had said it was a crit.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I rolled pretty low on the crit damage, so I mean...
This is going to be higher.
Probably.
16 that time instead of the...
Oh my fuck!
So 20
Oh.
16 for 36 damage.
Nimbers at 1! Nimbers at 1!
Is it 1 HP?
He's at 1 HP!
Oh, jeez. You got... Right, just whatever spells you got after this fight, any buffs, set, whatever you think useful you can do, you gotta get them out of that simulacrum. He's done. He's done.
Jake's turn. The enemy is 35, 40 feet away from you. Unfortunately, it's still 5 feet up in the air, so you can't get advantage on it on the ground. But you do have allies technically within 5 feet of it, unless you can get like 50 feet in the air, or 15 feet rather in the air, so you're 5 foot above, ally 5 foot below. 3 dimensions. Sucks.
He does get advantage on the first one.
Oh, right, yeah, silvery barbs. Well, Dan, it was nice knowing this enemy. Don't roll with ones, but the way I've been rolling with ones today, it's possible. Things could go very bad. Oh, there it is, crit damage. If only it had a
You'll love to see it.
Right, that's actually kind of disappointing because I know he's close to death. He has what, 30 health left, 31 health, something around there.
At least you get the effects of your 20, my man.
Does he fail the DC 15 con save?
I'm gonna give the con save to see if that's the way that he dies, but his health is so low that it's dead from you hitting it. I can guarantee it. I still want to see how much damage you're gonna do, but let me see on the DC 15. It would pass. Con's one of their stronger abilities, I will admit, but yeah, it's got single digits health left. So Moonlight on a critical hit does 52 points of damage on its own.
Jesus.
And as for the crit hit, it's 3d8 radiant damage bonus from the Moonlight, plus it's plus 3 blade. 57 additional points. 109 points of damage in one hit as he cleans the Enforcer in half.
Did someone just play Star Wars music?
I think I heard that for a second, yeah, but no.
Sounds like the kind of stuff Dean would do.
No, I've got no music playing. The only thing I said was Jesus at the sneak attack damage. That ain't no joke.
Yeah, no, I just heard the dong, dong.
Apparently, what is a joke is the new Vecna stat block.
Hey, Julian, do you have Commander Strike on the bar?
I don't know. I think so.
Because I think that's the one that lets you basically say to an ally, hey, take a swing.
Yep, that's the correct strike.
Now that everything is totally maxed out and everyone's power levels are through the roof, it's gonna be some fun shit to see.
I actually don't think I have it. I think I got rid of it for something else.
I believe she got rid of it because I was saving my reactions for the I take half damage.
Right, right.
But I'm gonna call the game at this point today as you stepped into the first of many rooms of Kintyre. It'll be a bit more fleshed out for next week. Like I say, can't believe how much long it takes to build one of these darn things. It's been a while to make a big one, but it is Final Dungeon, so many more treasures still awaits. Powers and abilities for all of you to obtain. I'm sure at some point I'll get to see Dean turn into a dragon.
Yeah, I thought it might be a tad overkill for the two enemies, but you never know.
Okay, that worked. We're doing the right. I don't know why I have to do an override, which gives me the ++, but it works now.
Well,
Okay, Neil.
No 232 edition.
Well, that's a good one for today, everyone. So we'll kick in more next week as we kick a little more butt inside the dungeon, and I try to challenge you all with some more deadly adventures. But until we go, any questions before we all head off?
No, thank you for your time. It was a lot of fun, as usual.
Yeah, thanks, Alan.
Always a good time.
Thank you, it was fun.
Yeah, thanks. I did have a question about the enforcers we just fought.
Oh,
You said they were a mixture of metal and obsidian.
Yep.
The obsidian's raising a couple of alarm bells in
Don't
my
worry.
head. So
They used for the construction of them, examining them over, you wouldn't find any of evil, dusty power reeking from them. Commonly used stone for a lot of high-grade magical devices, obsidian, throughout the lore of D&D. So, I was considering making them out of ruby, but then I found those pretty pictures. So, you can safely say they're not connected to evil, dusty. Don't worry.
all right, cool. I
That's
always
a cool
worried.
one. It's just I really love the picture that I found for them, so I went with it because it was nice.
Yeah, no, they're
I
super
love
cool.
that picture. Like, beautiful, beautiful picture.
I think I put it in the handouts. If not, I'll add it in the next little bit because they make they fit the same motif too of Kintyre. So,
Yeah, no.
but that's gonna be it for this week. Then we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, thanks, Alan.
Always a pleasure.
See you next week.
You all have yourselves a
See you
great
later. Yeah, thanks again, Alan. Have a good week, everyone.
one.
Have a good one, friends. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.